Away from Oakland over the Bay Bridge to San Francisco, a final series in this 10-game road trip. Yesterday, the bats came alive. It was Adam Jones, the bull, Pedro Alvarez, and Mark Trumbo, all coming through, helping to avoid a 4-game sweep. Tonight, Bruce Bochy and the Giants look to Matt Cain. Buck Showalter and the Orioles to Dylan Bundy. Two teams battling for the division lead go at it in the first of 3 from San Francisco. It's the Orioles on Massillon, and we welcome you back to the West Coast as the Orioles are at AT&T Park, and the San Francisco Giants are the opponents. These are very big ball games for both of these teams as the Orioles battle against Toronto and Boston for the lead in the American League East, while it's the Giants and the Dodgers yet one more time in the West for the National League. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome for the Orioles. Last time here, 2013. Overall, these two teams share a 6-6 mark historically. Last game played here, though, the Orioles, a rubber match set. Third game, and the Orioles had a magnificent comeback. Let's take a look. Back to that game. Game 3, 2013, 3-game set. It was right here at AT&T Park. The Giants had a 2-1 lead, top of the 7th. J.J. Hardy off Matt Cain. Orioles up 3-2. Orioles added 4 more in the 8th inning, double. RBI Adam Jones. RBI single would be picked up by Matt Wieters. The Orioles on the big comeback trail weren't done. They would go with the lead into the top of the 9th, 2 on Adam Jones, a 3-run home run off Barry Zito, and the Orioles came away with a 10-2 win in that ball game. Jim Palmer, that was the last time the Orioles were here. They'd love to do the same thing tonight.
Where is Barry Zito tonight? Well, anyway, Matt Cain's going to pitch for him. You know, obviously, they go to Oakland. Oakland wasn't playing well. They lose the first 3 games, all 1-run ball games, and then Mark Trumbo wakes him up yesterday. You know, Adam Jones, everybody has a really good afternoon, and you'd like to continue that. The problem is, you know, the Giants play very well here. They're 32-21. They haven't been playing well. They're only won 8 out of their last 24 games. But at home, they seem to play well. And then Matt Cain, you know, he's very much like some of the pitchers, I think, Gary, that we saw in Oakland, where going to throw a lot of strikes. He'll mix it around, and you know, the scouting reports is Orioles hit a lot of home runs. Giants don't. Keep the ball down. We'll see if he'll be able to do that tonight.
And boy, Jim, is that ever true here in this ballpark? This is a ballpark designed for pitchers. Take a look at the numbers. These are the National League rankings.
Yeah, and this is out of the National League, so there's, 15 teams. So you can see, I mean, the ERA is the lowest, the home runs a game the fewest, and you know, there are nights, you know, I tuned in about 3 weeks ago, Gary, there were 5 2-run home runs in here. That doesn't happen very often. The wind kicks up, ball travels like we saw in batting practice, balls flying out of here, game starts. What is it? The sea smoke comes in, and
you
then
like
all
that?
of it. Yeah, I like that. And then all of a sudden, the ball doesn't go. And if you're a pitcher, you got a big smile on your face.
The Orioles hoping that they're going to get another great start out of a youngster they are relying on, who's got to be good the rest of the way in this Orioles rotation, and that is Dylan Bundy.
Yeah, you know, he's been marvelous. You know, he pitched like 62 innings the last 2 years. Again, arguably one of the best high school pitchers ever to come out. The Orioles give him a major league contract. Had to stay with the team. Kind of been a blessing. You know, the difference between now and the beginning of the year, more arm strength, better changeup, better curveball, and the velocity maybe 93 in spring training, now 94 to 97. I heard Steve Decker, their assistant hitting coach, say his fastball is pretty straight. Well, it hadn't been real straight in the last 2 games because he's just been outstanding. Struck out 9 against the White Sox in 7 innings, able to pitch deep into the ball games. We'll see if he can do it tonight.
2 pitchers who right now are on a roll, both for the Giants and for the Orioles. When we come back, we will talk with Brad Brock, a pitcher who's been laid back a little bit of late. Why? Because Buck Showalter wants him ready the rest of the way. nothing to hide. Beautiful night here in San Francisco on the Bay. The Orioles get ready to go. Brad Brock's ready to go if needed in the bullpen. One of the reasons his usage over the last 3 weeks has been reduced a bit, trying to make sure he's ready for the rest of the way. CY, 6-1 record and a 1.21 ERA this year. Innings pitched, they don't want to go very far over the 79, 80 innings he pitched last year. He's got a better strikeout to walk ratio this year than last. Whip is way down, 0.89. So he asked Brad Brock this afternoon, what does it mean to you, this reduced usage, to keep you fresh?
I think it just kind of means pitching and winning games, I guess. I'm not 100% sure exactly what that entails. I think it's just kind of, being ready to go in September and just, kind of just limiting as much as possible the innings here in August and just kind of be ready for the stretch run.
Do you have any idea what that number is for August?
I have no idea. I'm not told that, and like Buck always says, pitch when I tell you to pitch and just be ready. So that's pretty much what I do.
Do you feel you've had a rest of some sort here over the last couple of weeks? You haven't been used as much as often. Do you feel that? Is it helpful?
Yeah, I think my body-wise, more so my legs, I kind of felt they were a little tired the last couple weeks, and then this week it feels 100% better. So I think that's kind of, it was allowing me not to stay as tall, and I was kind of falling over to home instead of driving towards home plate. So my last time the other night, I felt back to normal, and hopefully I can roll from there.
Starters can get into a pretty regular routine because they pretty much know when they're going. You don't. Staying in shape physically, what does that mean? What do you do?
Just, it's kind of listening to your body. It's earlier in the season, I like to lift more, and the last couple weeks I like lifting, but it's kind of gotten to the point where it's like, okay, let's maybe not lift as much or as often, and just kind of doing the running. And for me, it's just kind of, I like shagging the outfield. That's kind of how I get my conditioning in, and just basically try to stay on top of it. That's all.
Starting pitchers are going to try and pace themselves, if you will. Do you do less of that, do you find, coming out of the bullpen?
Yeah, you don't really have a choice. I mean, you got to be ready to go pitch one, especially if you're pitching the 7th, 8th, 9th inning with a lead. You can't really mess around, especially with a one-run lead. One pitch can change the entire game. So you just got to be ready to go from pitch one, and you let it go. You let it eat for one inning, basically. Yeah. You just go out there and just, throw what you got that night.
Get to stay in one city for a whole week. We've done that 3 years in a row with the Orioles. For a player, good or bad?
It's not bad. The hotel's really nice here. So, and in Chicago, the Trump Tower, you can't really beat that. So that was nice. So I don't mind it. It's better than having to get on a flight and fly 3 hours yesterday. We got to drive across the bridge, which seemed like it took forever, but it's better than having to fly, that's for sure.
All right. Final question, interleague play. As a player, how do you feel about it at this point?
I like it. I like the National League game. I think just coming from San Diego, I got to see pitchers hit all the time, and I just kind of like it. I think it's interesting, especially from seeing an American League team, the pitchers don't ever get to hit, so I think it just kind of adds a little bit different of an element, and I think it just changes it up throughout the season. I think it's kind of cool.
You worry about getting hurt when you hit?
No, I don't. I like to think of myself as an athlete, so hopefully swinging a bat isn't going to hurt me.
All right. Brad Brock, he is ready to go in the ball game tonight, and what an important piece. When we come back, lineups being exchanged, set to go in Game 1 against the Giants. Our BGE home game time temperature here in San Francisco is 58 degrees. Little breeze blowing out towards right to start the ball game. BGE Home is Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Camden Yards is a beautiful ballpark and a great place to work in and play in. Entirely different than this ballpark for the players, but Jim, as far as a place to work and of a view, unbelievable.
Well, it really is. I think arguably you could say it's probably the best ballpark in the National League. I mean, there's some other ones. I mean, even the ones up in Coors Valley, in Denver, Coors Field. But all in all, the backdrop is breathtaking, and it's a great place to pitch if you're a pitcher. If you're a hitter, better pick your spots. Hit some line drives.
We'll take a look at the numbers for this ballpark because they will affect the play that's going to go on here in this series. Let's take a look at the Orioles starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. It'll be Jones, Kim, and Machado, Trumbo, Davis, and Scope, Wieters, Hardy, and Bundy. For JJ against Kane, he's had a number of at-bats and done well with it.
And Matt Cain out of Alabama. Again, seems like he's been around forever. He's only 31. Now, he has had some health problems. This year it's been the hamstring on a couple of occasions. Last year it was the elbow chips 2 years ago, and then some nerve irritation. The numbers are high, but they've been coming down. So he's pitched well as of late. His last 2 starts, 10 innings, and he's only given up, 5 hits, 5 no-hittings against the Nationals. So, again, he just knows how to pitch. He's going to throw a lot of strikes. Hit a little bit. You got to do that in the National League. Hit a home run a couple of weeks ago. And again, when he's healthy, which he seems to be, gives very much like a lot of the Oriole pitchers. Tillman comes to mind. Gives you a chance to win.
For Matt Cain, he'll come in with a win in each of his last 3 starts. He also will come in with 10 scoreless innings, having been pitched in those games. And against the Orioles, only 1 appearance. It was a start. 3 runs over 7 innings back in 2013. Bruce Bochy, the skipper. They have 1 more win than the Orioles. They are 65-49. They lead the Dodgers by a game, and they are back home for a 10-game homestand. For Buck Showalter and the Orioles, they are a half game behind Toronto. Orioles are 64-50 on the year.
Yeah, the Giants get to play 15 in the next 18 games here at AT&T Park in San Francisco. And then the other ones, Gary, the other 3 are down the coast against the Dodgers. So all California games for the next 18.
So they have 9 games left against the Dodgers. That's half of those series for the year still left to go. And the team that has caught up to them, 1 game behind. All right, we're ready to go as Adam Jones stands in. A little Friday night baseball for you from San Francisco. Adam, an 0 for 3 off Cain. The only time he's faced him. Will go after the breaking ball for a strike.
Well, he's been red hot. Yesterday they had a 7-0 lead. As it turned out, the game ended 9-6. So you wanted to add some runs, and they did. And he was a big part of it.
Adam will go after an even slower pitch, 76 miles an hour, way out in front on the swing.
Well, he's got a curveball, slider, fastball, and changeup, and the Orioles are going to see a lot of those. That's what happened over across the bay in Oakland.
He knows how to pitch. Has been in big games postseason before. Adam Jones will go after a heater. He'll be late on it. Adam in the month of August leading the Orioles at the plate with a .372 batting average. He now has 3 home runs this month. The Orioles have had 5 from Alvarez and 4 from Manny Machado for the month of August. They're long ball leaders. Orioles, of course, still number 1 in home runs in the major leagues. Matt Cain ahead here 0-2. And that'll be pushed into right field for a base hit. He got one up, probably out of the strike zone, but found a hole over there, and Adam is on.
Yeah, take a look at the Giants defense, kind of middle of the pack as far as errors. Pagan, Span, and Pence. Pence back from the hamstring problem. Nunez comes over from the Twins. He'll play third. Crawford, one of the best all-around shortstops in the National League. Panic belt, and then 2012 most valuable player, Buster Posey, doing the catching.
Posey has thrown out more than any other catcher. So if you think about running, he's at 46% getting base stealers. And the pitch is a strike. Kim getting his first look in this ballpark and at the Giants. Has never faced them before. Cain with that very deliberate delivery to the plate. Keeps an eye on the folks at first base with a fairly slow move, actually, and base stealers are 7 for 11 against him.
Yeah, the Orioles just don't run, and you know, the only guy is on the DL, and that's Joey Rickard, 4 steals. Adams 1 for 1. But you do open up a hole, and you know, Kim on occasion can pull the ball, even though he's more of a center field hitter.
Pulls that one down the line, and that's going to go into the seats for a foul ball.
Yeah, I think the more we see of young Soo Kim, he's learning really the role of hitting second. You know, he's a contact guy. You know, 28 home runs last year in Korea. This year, of course, hitting occasional home runs, but you can see spraying the ball everywhere.
This is a ballpark where it's only 309 down the right field line. The problem is when you get there, there's a 25-foot high wall that you got to get a ball over in order to get a home run, and not many have. Breaking ball. How about the bend on that one? And Kim is retired.
Yeah, it's so good it even hangs, and he swings right through it. You know, again, twilight, great time to pitch. I mean, but it's got a sharp break on it. And, you know, as long as you get on top of it, even the good curveballs can stay up a little bit, but the tight spin sometimes evades the bat.
So for Cain, a strikeout. Jones still on at first base, 1 down, and here's Manny Machado. Manny also has an 0 for 3 going against Cain. Adam Jones, decent lead over there. Pretty good throw as Bell puts the tag on. They've watered it down pretty good over there, even though the Orioles don't run. It's going to be tough at first base to get anything other than a slippery start. It's got a good deal of water over there right on that base path. Pitch on the way is grounded to short. Crawford bobbled. Not going to get him.
Oh,
how about
wow.
that? Everybody's safe. He chose to go to second base, and the error will be charged on Crawford.
Yeah, again, you know, when we were in New York, and I showed you the New York Times article, the best at what he does. He makes 3 errors the next day. Throwing. Right here, this ball just comes up. Thinks he still has a force play. Probably had time to throw Machado out, but thinks, and this is why you hustle. And again, your good secondary lead keeps the inning alive. You can see Adam Jones helping the umpire out. Brian O'Nora at first, and Jeff Kellogg. But again, watch the ball now. He follows it into the glove, and it comes up. Heel, chest, and then the hustle puts runners at first and second.
That'll be the 10th error charged on the season, 11th error charged to Crawford on the year. The Orioles get a big break on what should have been a double play ball in the end of the inning. Instead, they get no outs off it, and runners at first and second for Mark Trumbo. Trumbo 1 for 5 off Cain. That a home run. The Orioles trying to get on the board here in the first inning. Pitch on the inside corner for a strike. So Mike Trumbo, he's played in this ballpark, he and Hardy, a good deal. He's just hit 133 here in this ballpark with 1 home run against the Giants at AT&T. What matters now is a base hit and get somebody in. Runners off first and second. Cain's delivery to him again, working inside. He'll get it there.
I'm going to take a look. 5 RBIs yesterday. The second part of that 5 RBIs after he single in the 4th is a grand slam. So again, a couple of 5 RBI games this year for Mark Trumbo. Certainly turned the offensive tide for the Orioles yesterday.
Trumbo hitting .308 with runners in scoring position on the year. Matt Cain delivers to him, set up outside, down low. Posey will be there to block it, and the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. The Salamis this year in the majors: Orioles, Astros, Nationals, all with 5. Boston and the Cubs have 4 apiece.
Yeah, he'd take exactly what he did yesterday in the 4th, which is just put a nice level swing on, hit a nice soft line drive over second base. They put the shift on, way off the first base bag.
Jones and Machado, the base runners for the Orioles. Outfield shaded to left, stayed outside. Posey framed it, does not get the call on it though. Cain thought he had a strike.
Well, that's the slider. You know, he's got the hook. We've already seen that. This is just a nice little slider. Boy, it looks like it might have gotten the bottom of the strike zone, so maybe the Orioles get another break here in the first.
Alan Porter, home plate umpire, pretty even up umpire historically. Not a lot of favoritism in his strike zone for either hitter or pitcher. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Trumbo. Runners edging off. Kane's delivery to him. That one will be way outside at 79. So not close enough to be an effective pitch to get Trumbo interested. And the count will go to 3-2. So Matt Cain trying to pick up his teammates here. In this case, Crawford, after that error. All these pitches he's throwing are extra pitches. He should have been out of the inning. 3-2, only one away. And timeout asked for at the plate.
Yeah, and the other thing, when you go 3-2 and the quality of your pitch, you got a guy leading the American League in home runs. You'd rather not have to throw just to get me over slider. Right, to be able to pitch, maybe strike the ball. I'm not sure you can do that 3-2.
3-2 delivery, and that'll be foul back. One of the things to look for in this series, Timmy, if we can get a shot in right center where the 421 mark is, it's in that power alley out there. From that 421 mark going to right field, if you go all the way from there over to the foul line, there have been 16 home runs hit there by right-handers in 16 years. That's how hard it is for a right-hander to get a ball out the other way. You got that deep alley at 421, then you got that big wall, 2 of them actually, going over to the foul post. So right-handers don't get many opposite field home runs in that triple alley. Down to third, chance for 2. There's one. Relay, they get it around the horn. Nunez to Panic to Belt, and a big double play ball picked up by Kane. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We'll take a look at the Giants lineup when we come back. Town and here at the ballpark, both over in Oakland and now here. Take a look at the lineup for the Giants. Span, Pagan, and Belt. Posey, Crawford, and Pence. Nunez, Panic, and Kane. Brandon Crawford last 3 hot bat.
So Dylan Bundy, it will be at his 6th major league start tonight, and the last 2 have been really special. Again, I mean, velocity up, curveball, change up, 94 to 97, throws a lot of strikes, you name it. Very, very happy fly ball pitcher.
Dylan Bundy will deliver one up and away to Denard Span. All of these hitters seeing Bundy for the first time. Span, center fielder, in that leadoff spot. He'll go in the air to left center field. Adam Jones on his horse trying to get there and will.
Yeah, that's another ball, and as we look at the rest of the defense, the wind just knocks down. So Kim Jones and Trumbo, we saw that 3 out of the 4 games in Oakland. Machado, Hardy, Hardy back on the lineup after Flaherty played there yesterday. Scope Davis and then Matt Wieters doing the catching.
That'll bring Pagan to the place. Whether or not it's Angel Pagan or Angel Pagan depends on whether you're watching TV or listening to the radio in San Francisco. One does it one way and one does it the other. TV calls him Angel, radio calls him Angel Pagan. So we'll call him a couple of different things as we go along in the game. Each time up, we'll give a different pronunciation.
Well, he's a free agent, but at least and he's playing really. He's healthy and really playing well. So maybe by the end of this series, he's going to be Mr. Pagan.
Mr. Pagan. That solves all the problem right there. Pagan, the switch hitter. Numbers been outstanding for him since he's come back. And the pitch will be taken inside. Or Pagan on the year, right-handed 291, left-handed 283. He's had 4 home runs each side of the plate, so very little difference in results.
Yeah, natural right-handed hitter, but he's learned to hit left-handed and over twice as many at bats from this side of the plate.
Lifts that one in the air to right field. Trumbo backing up. That's a 400-foot out right there. And a couple of fly balls. Take a look at our league leaderboard, brought to you by Koons. Koons.com, over 2 million vehicles sold and counting.
Well, there you go. Nice select company to be in. And of course, Happ was what, 15-3, and Verlander's 112, Porcello's 115. Duffy pitched a shutout yesterday. So a lot of guys on a roll, and Dylan Bundy right on that journey with him.
So Bundy 2 quick outs, and here is Brandon Belt, another left-hander. Again, you've got Dylan Bundy while it's early on, only 65 innings worked. His numbers are the reverse that we've talked about so often. Right-handers hit him much better than left-handers. 231 the lefties, 282 for right-handers.
And that's usually the breaking ball. He used to throw a slider, but coming off the Tommy John surgery, hasn't really felt that would be conducive.
Down the line in left field this time. Kim going over. He's got room, and he will put it away. Took only 9 pitches. He retires the side in order. Underway here in San Francisco to inning 2. No score. Game. Kristen Boswell from Laurel, 500 for being selected, 500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play home run Richard scratch-offs, win up to 50,000, or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. Kristen, good luck. Orioles roster change today. Left-hander Donnie Hart. He has been with the ball club this week in Oakland, but was not on the roster. He's here now. Brings a left-hander to the bullpen. 3-1. 2.72 ERA, 40 games at Double-A Bowie. So Hart is here. Darren O'Day is not. Darren O'Day is back in Baltimore. He has had problems with the shoulder. It's acted up on him. It hasn't felt right for a week or so. So today, sent back home to have an examination by the doctor. He's not on the DL yet. They'll wait and see what the doctor says, but O'Day's not available for this series.
Yeah, Richie Bancels just kind of talking about the fact that it seemed like a case of maybe tendonitis, and certainly a lot of ways to deal with that.
Andrusik has been sent down. That opened up the position as you take a look at Chris Davis at the plate. So Andrusik is down, and Tyler Wilson is here, but not on the roster. The Orioles didn't want to have to fly somebody across country if in fact they're going to need to add another pitcher for this series. So Tyler Wilson is already here, but not active. The delivery to Chris, and that will be taken for a strike on the outside corner, and Matt Cain will get his second K.
Well, you talked about the fact that he really knows how to pitch, and right there it's just a little backdoor cutter, maybe a little bit of a slider. Look where Posey sits, ball right to the glove, and that's how you encourage Alan Porter, who is doing the umpiring tonight, to call it.
Matt Cain out of Alabama now lives here in California. World Series champion in all those even years, 2010, 12, and 14. The question is 16 their year again? They're certainly making a run at it, and Cain certainly involved, hoping to get better with that 4-6 mark that he has coming in. Jonathan Schoop, 3-game hit streak. Jonathan down the line. That's a fair ball through that bullpen area and off the wall. Pagan will get it. Schoop's on his way to second base. 4-game hit streak, and the Orioles get their second hit.
Yeah, the one thing about Matt Cain, I mean, he really has to make his pitches. This is not the Matt Cain that came up and won 16 games maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago, throwing 93-4. He's about 90-91. So again, if he gets to the middle of the plate, that's what happens. And of course, Schoop swinging the bat well, and he gets a rocket into the corner.
Jonathan has now moved up to 4th place in the American League in doubles, 31. He's only 2 behind Manny Machado, who is 3rd. And here's Matt Wieters. Matt with an 0 for 3 off Cain. Infield will shift around on him. They put Crawford almost directly behind second base, and the breaking ball will miss down low to Matt. Well, the Orioles again get an opportunity here with a runner in scoring position. Orioles are at 272 as a team. They are 7th in the major leagues with runners in scoring position, which has been a problematic situation for the Giants. That's going to be a fair ball. 3:09 mark coming around to score is Jonathan Schoop. Wieters on his way to second base. Throw not in time, and Matt's got an RBI double, and the Orioles have the lead.
Yeah, if you were with us in Oakland, they weren't throwing balls up in the middle of the plate until yesterday, and the Orioles put 9 runs on the board. So you're going to pitch up in the zone. Orioles are going to have a good night offensively. Pretty that simple. You stay down, you change speeds. Take a look. They try to come in, doesn't get it in. 91's not going to do it. So again, if you change speed, turn it over like he did to Davis, you got a chance. And back-to-back doubles give you a run, another chance to get a runner in scoring position.
So Matt Wieters picks up the RBI, number 43 for him, and the Orioles have the 1-0 lead on their 3rd hit of the ball game. And now J.J. Hardy. Hardy out of the 9 spot to the 8 hole with Bundy batting, of course, in the National League ballpark. 5 for 17 with 2 home runs off Matt Cain for Hardy. J.J. goes to the middle. He's got a base hit. Wieters with a late start will be held. Span will get it into second base, and Hardy's on with a single.
Yeah, not a good read at all by Matt Wieters. I mean, you really got to know where the outfielders are, and if you do, you score. And the reason I say that is because we're playing National League ball. They're going to be Bundy's first at bat, so that's a huge play. So again, right here, he doesn't know. He has no idea where Span is playing. Otherwise, he just takes off because the ball wasn't even being close to being caught. And you got yourself another run. Now all of a sudden things change a little bit.
So Dylan Bundy gets his first chance. Nunez will come way in at 3rd base. Belt is holding the runner at first. They'll play for the bunt, and the pitch will be taken for a strike. So Bundy up there to take at least one. Now Bobby Dickerson wants to make sure. Bundy's not used to looking down there for signs, so Dickerson's going to give him the verbal on this.
Well, you would think that this would probably be a bunt situation because he never really gets to hit. I asked him before the game, I said, how'd you hit in high school? He said, well, I faced Archie Bradley, who got about $5 million to sign. It didn't go well, 3 strikeouts. I said, well, how about the rest of the guys that didn't sign number 1? Because that wasn't too good either.
Bundy does not square, takes the pitch for a strike, so probably there goes the bunt. He may be up there just standing, and that's seriously. Sometimes in these games, it's the preference of the manager to tell these pitchers when they go to the plate, don't swing.
Well, especially don't run the bases and get hurt. I can understand that. But
0-2, he swung, and that's it.
Well, I'll tell you what, all you have to do is come down on the field about maybe 4:15, and you want to see the disparity between being an American League pitcher as he waves at this breaking ball and what goes on in the National League is the way the Giant pitchers can hit. You're going to see Baumgartner tomorrow. I mean, he's pinch hit for him this year. Matt Moore, who they traded, already had 2 hits before he came to the Giants. Samardzija can hit the ball really well. So it's just that's what they do. And the day before you start, you get the hit, and then at home you hit every day.
And of course, the American League team, like the Orioles, they lose the bull. Pedro Alvarez, their DH, has been red hot hitting home runs, sitting on the bench watching. Adam Jones, runners at first and third. Adam had a base hit his first time up. Adams .288 with runners in scoring position on the year. The Orioles with Wieters at third and Hardy over at first will get another run into right field. That's 2 of them. Adam Jones 2 hits and both have gone to right. He gets the RBI and the Orioles are up 2-0.
Well, you're getting the semester test. They're throwing and we saw this in Oakland. They're pitching him down away. Watch him cover this outside corner. So all of a sudden you get your final test and he's getting all A's. His approach is impeccable. He's looking away, reacting in, and all of a sudden the batting average is going. His lifetime batting average is 278, and it's streaking up towards there.
67 RBIs for Adam. 2 on and 2 down. Orioles 2 runs on 5 hits off Matt Cain. And here is Kim, struck out his first time up. Young-Soo Kim will take the pitch, and it is there for a strike. So the Orioles getting on the board early against a Giant team that has had a lot of problems in the scoring department, even more than the Orioles have had since the All-Star break. 0-1 pitch on the way. Kim had to wait on that. This is going to be a tough play. Nunez up and gets it over there in time for the out. Now the Orioles have a big inning as they will pick up an RBI by Adam Jones, 1 by Wieters, and the Orioles lead it 2-0. In our game tonight, brought to you by Miller Lite. Looking out over the bay, that's the sea smoke that Jim loves so much, creeping in off the Pacific. That's the actual layer you see sitting up above the working cranes on the far side on the docks over there. Orioles have the 2-0 lead. Orioles have already gone 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position through the first 2 innings of the ball game. Here's Posey with a 4-game hit streak. Buster Posey against Bundy, who's got himself a lead to work with. Posey's had a red hot bat, 328 over the last 15 ball games. He's got a hit streak of 4 coming in. He's gone 6 for his last 17.
Yeah, you watch him play. I mean, he's a terrific receiver, runs the base as well. You know, power if you get behind him, but he hits the ball where it's pitched, and that's the perfect place to hit it in this ballpark. We told you, mentioned the fact he was the MVP 2012. But again, home run power, 310 lifetime hitter.
And he'll take the pitch, making Bundy throw one in the strike zone.
Well, they hit the 3 balls pretty well in the first inning. They kind of tried out all the Oriole outfielders. Fly ball to left, center, and right.
Posey, a .297 hitter in this ballpark. And he'll chop that one foul. This is not a ballpark where they come easy. You look at the home runs, and we talk about the Orioles and how many they hit. Here in this ballpark, Posey's had 5 home runs, and that's the most of any Giant at home this year, which is pretty amazing. Belt's got 4. Pitch is away. Posey, good eye on it, gets a walk.
Yeah, he threw him a 3-1 changeup, and then he comes back with a fastball that he thinks might have gotten the corner. Take a look at our Nissan pitch track. Look where the glove is. Boy, I mean, right to the corner. But apparently, I mean, he didn't move the glove, so the glove must have been off the corner.
So the leadoff man on with a walk, and that will bring Crawford to the plate. Recognized before the game by the fans. He was called out of the dugout for that 7-hit ball game that he had on that road trip. His numbers against the Orioles. Runner at first base. Manny on a cut of the grass at third, and he'll go after the first one and follow back.
Yeah, that was on Monday night down in Miami, and then of course they'd get shut out the next night, and then he won the game on Wednesday with a solo home run. So he had a nice little road trip for him.
This ball club draws a lot of walks. Only the Brewers and the Cubs have a better walk ratio than do the Giants. They take a lot of pitches in the air and foul. They also do not strike out. They have the best strikeout rate in the National League, and only the Angels in the American League have done better. The Giant rate is 17.7% of strikeouts for at-bats. So they're number 1 in the National League in not striking out.
Yeah, and they, I mean, throughout all kinds of numbers, they also hit the most line drives in the National League.
Crawford with a runner at first base. Will take it in the dirt. Wieters blocks.
Well, there you go. And I mean, again, they play half their games here. 7th most. That's the middle of the pack. Home run, 2nd fewest, because they do play here. Home runs better on the road. The bullpen's been terrific, and the starter's not bad. Cueto is who's going to pitch on Sunday, and Baumgartner. They're terrific starters.
Pitch will be taken away. Bundy unhappy with himself on that one. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Crawford. The offense has really struggled, as we said, though. They just have not been able to pick up the runs. They had a 1-0 win over Miami Wednesday. Day off yesterday, the 4th time last 5 games that they've been involved in that kind of a ball game. And he got him to chase on a pitch out of the strike zone. Bundy gets a K.
Yeah, nice little changeup. And he established it on a 3-1 pitch to Posey, even though he walked him. So again, to see young pitcher, 23 years old, 62 innings over the last 2 years. And again, this is what we're talking about. Out of the bullpen, they put him in as a starter. Gives up some home runs against Tampa. They actually hit some pretty good pitches, and then since then, he did lose to Colorado, but that's only because he lost 3-1. He has pitched terrific. Gives you a chance to win.
Here's Hunter Pence, and the Giants mighty happy to have him back in the lineup. Reinstated on the 30th of July. He was out 48 games with a right hamstring strain, and he's still struggling to get back to everyday playing mode. He's only had 3 hits in his last 28 at bats. 1-0 count. Runner at first base is Posey. Pitch will be taken down low, and Bundy continues to show some emotion out there in these pitches that are not doing what he wants them to do. 2-0.
Well, yeah, he's been so in the strike zone when he wants to. So, again, I mean, it's the whole new experience. National League ball. You come to San Francisco, a little bit colder than it's been. Maybe the grip's a little bit different. terrific in Chicago, into warm weather.
Puts that one in down the line. Manny Machado, what a play! Schoop turns it, and not quite in time, but a great play. A glove salute by Schoop to Manny Machado, ended up almost in the seats after he made that throw.
Well, this is a great thing. The Giants get to see Arenado all the time. Nolan Arenado of the Rockies. He won the Gold Glove last year, but the interleague play, this is the magic that Machado can deliver every night with a glove. And when you think it's a double, the next thing, it's got a chance to be a double play. I mean, look how quick he is. In fact, somebody in Oakland, Gary, I think it was Billy Butler, he said, you forget how good a defender he is because he hits so well. And I said, yeah, but he is one of the best third basemen in baseball. He said, he's really a shortstop playing third. I said, well, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what we talked about. Other teams begin to recognize the Orioles have 3 shortstops in the infield, and no other team has that. That's why you have all those great arms out there. Manny was a shortstop coming up. You've got the Orioles shortstop in J.J. Hardy. You got Jonathan Schoop at second base, who was a shortstop. So 3 big-time arms. Nunez, and he'll go after a pitch up. And Eduardo Nunez with 2 down. Runner on at first base is Pence after they get that force out. Nunez 9 for his last 40.
Yeah, he was red hot. I mean, he came over. He was really, hit well against the Orioles in May when we were up there. And then since he's over here, a little different story. And he had him change positions. One playing third base with the Twins. But he can steal bases. He's stolen 27, so it gives him some speed.
Tied for 4th in the majors in stolen bases this season. Pence off first base, and an off-speed breaking ball that meanders its way outside.
Yeah, we haven't seen that. Again, his curveball has been so good. You can see a little frustration. I don't think it's going to bother him. I think what it is he knows that what he has to do. For a 23-year-old guy, he's got a pretty good idea of what his mechanics are supposed to feel like.
Delivery on the way is a heater that's going to miss down low. Again, another deep count, 3-2. That'll send Pence on the fly at first base. Orioles straight up D on him. Cloud layer continues to move in, which will knock those fly balls down. Runner goes, 3-2 delivery, and that's going to be put in the air and back out of play. Significant difference in foul territory between here and across the bay in Oakland. This is, if anything, a little shorter foul territory down the lines and behind the plate than most of the ballparks. There's not going to be a lot of room to catch pop-ups here anywhere. All the way around in foul territory, it's pretty short. 3-2 becoming again. Dylan Bundy to Nunez. Runner goes, and that one up in the air to left field. Kim. He's there and puts it away for the out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base after 2. The Orioles 2, Giants nothing. as the Orioles would have Scopes double. Matt Wieters next batter down the line. Another double and an RBI. Hardy would deliver a single, and then the RBI by Adam Jones, who had followed to the plate, and the Orioles with a 2-0 lead.
You know, like 5 pitches where Matt Cain didn't want to live up in the zone. And the Orioles don't miss him. That's what they do. Great high ball hitting team. Fastball hanging breaking ball team.
So Matt Cain, see if he can settle in and locate a little better.
Well, I'm sure he had a little talk with Dave Righetti. If you're a longtime baseball fan, he was a terrific pitcher in his own right. No hitter back in '83.
Machado goes hard into left center field. Manny's on. Leadoff single here in the 3rd inning. He reached on an error his first time up.
Yeah, another belter right in the middle, belt high, and Orioles love those pitches.
Matt Cain just really struggling here, trying to get that pitch where he wants it to go.
Well, you know, it started with Adam Jones. He threw him a slider, a curveball for strike 2, and then tried to sneak a fastball by him, singled. And that was in the 1st inning, and then in the 2nd, every pitch ended up in the middle of the plate.
Mark Trumbo hit into a double play his first time up. Off-speed pitch for a strike. Cain comes in having won the last 3. 2 of those were against the Nationals. 1 at home, 1 in Washington, and the other one was against Cincinnati. He's 101 wins and 105 losses in his career.
Well, how about losing your first 6 of the year? That's what he did. And then he had the hamstring problems on the DL a couple of times.
Trumbo will take it outside.
Wow.
No, it's on the corner for a strike.
Not really, but Alan Porter calls it.
Well, the Blue Jays lost to the Astros 5-3, so the Orioles chance to go back into that first place if they can get the victory here in this ball game as the standings continue to seesaw. Trumbo with the 0-2 count. Manny Machado back to the bag at first as Trumbo steps out on Cain. Trumbo 1 for 6 now off Matt Cain with the home run. Outfield deep, playing him to pull. 0-2 delivery by Cain's way outside. And we welcome those of you who had been watching the Atlanta win over the Nationals. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer here in San Francisco. Orioles have a 2-0 lead. Jones 2 for 2. Scopes had a double a run. Wieters has picked up a double and an RBI. Matt Cain is on the mound with a runner at first base here in the 3rd inning. And Trumbo at the plate will take it and even the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mark. On at first, leadoff single, Manny Machado here in the 3rd. Mark the leader again. The home run race, 1 ahead of Todd Frazier. Goes down the line the other way, and that will be foul. Grand slam home run yesterday put him back on top. Trumbo with 32. Todd Frazier and Encarnacion with 31 each. Manny Machado's moved into the top 10 in home runs, his 26th, placing 8th at the start of the day. 2-2. Trumbo to be followed by Davis. Lights taking effect here at AT&T. Runner not going. Trumbo off the end of the bat. Our PNC inside the numbers.
Oh, there you go, and that's the Giants. Again, they're 6-12, I think, 8-16 since the All-Star break, but 5-12 on the road, 3-4 on the home. So that's been a combination. Won't throw as many here. Because when they came back, they thought they'd have a good series, and then Cincinnati lit them up.
35 home runs allowed. Wow. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Trumbo hanging in. Matt Cain again the other way, fouls it off.
Emergency hack.
Had a strike called in the at bat on a pitch out there, so you're not going to let it go by.
No.
Pitch number 8 of this at bat. Since the All-Star break for the Giants, their ERA is 8th in the National League since the break. 14th in runs though, and 12th in OPS. Pitching and not much support. Again, same location, and he fouls it off.
Yeah, you still got one pitch where you can maybe try to throw a two-seamer. Maybe in Bruce Bochy, former catcher. Boy, he had over 17, 18, almost 1,800 wins now as a manager. San Diego in here.
And he gives the signs as a former catcher to Buster Posey what he wants the pitcher to do. 2-ball, 2-strike count as far as throw over, step off, whatever. That one is drilled. Oh, did he get that one? Way back in left field, and goodbye home run. Out of the yard. What a shot. The home run leader delivers number 32, and I mean, he got all of that thing. Wow.
Well, we've seen it before, and what happens is you think you can sneak one in. And again, I mean, Buchholz tried to do it early in the year in Boston, and when he is swinging well, and we saw that yesterday, soft single and then a grand slam, 5 RBIs. Yeah, you think you have it set up. He actually tries to get it in, and it just doesn't get there. 91. You don't throw a lot of balls by people. Take a look. Posey slid to the inside corner. You can see the two-seam fastball, and it's gone. Doesn't get it in. You can see Posey, Buster ready to catch it, and this ball is walloped.
Number 33, and Trumbo knew it off the bat. And for Cain, that's the 14th home run that he has surrendered, with 10 of those hit by right-handers, and the Orioles have jumped on him here in this ball game. They've got the 4 runs, 7 hits, 441 feet, and 113 miles an hour. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, 77 is the average. I mean, that's up there with some of the, maybe not distance-wise, but at least velocity of ball off the bat. Probably in the top 5. Change up and right off the inside of the foot.
So for Trumbo, 5 RBI game yesterday, and he's already got 2 in this one in 2 at bats. Chris Davis, a strikeout victim, first time up, will take the pitch inside.
Chris would like to join the party. Like getting one of those hot streaks. Got what 4 hits the last 2 games, but again hasn't really been driving the ball like he can.
Called out on strikes his first time up. Will go down in the count 2-2 on that swing.
Yeah, Matt Cain says I don't have a very good fastball, so I better try the change up. That's what that pitch was. Curveballs and sliders.
That one's going to be a base hit, and Cain's just not fooling anybody here. So the Orioles have had a single, a homer, and a base hit here in the 3rd inning, and already have racked up 8 hits against Matt Cain. On Tuesday, the Birds return to Camden Yards, a pivotal 2-game series against the Red Sox. Hope you'll get out and cheer them on Tuesday and Wednesday. Note those are both night games at 7:05. Good seats remain. Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. And for the home run, our Maryland Lottery contestant, Kristen Boswell, that's worth $500. Congratulations. Jonathan Schoop, a double and a run scored, will chase the breaking ball away. No action for the Giants bullpen. It is just the 3rd inning of the ball game, but 4 runs on 8 hits.
Well, they're hoping he can get out of this inning, and then you may pinch hit with him. You got Panic, the 8th hitter, leading off the next inning, and maybe you'll pinch hit at that point.
Comes inside. Posey had set up exactly the other way. Wanted the pitch outside. And Cain with a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah, if you're on your game, and the Orioles, as we saw in Oakland, can be a very aggressive hitting team, and when you pitch down in the zone, susceptible to quick pitch counts.
Jonathan chases one down and away, foul tipped into the mitt, 1-2.
But if you don't have your best stuff, or you don't have your best command, it'll be a short evening.
Jonathan Schoop, 4-game hit streak now. He's had 4 hits in 11 at bats during the streak. He has had as long as an 11-game hit streak this year. That one he'll put back into the seats for a souvenir. And a ball and 2 strikes. For the Orioles against San Francisco, the series goes back to 2002. They played here 2-1 in that series. In 04 they played at Camden Yards, went 1-2. 2010 back out here 1-2, and then 2013 went 2-1. Schoop on the swinging strike is gone.
Yeah, he's going to go back to the bench and scold himself because he swung at it. The first pitch was out of the zone. This one's out of the zone. And again, when Jonathan gets into these streaks, and it really hasn't been the case, gets himself out. Cain, of course, he's closing in on 2,000 innings, so he's been around. Young hitter, out of the chase.
And Matt Wieters. Matt with runner on at first base. Davis, Wieters a double and an RBI. Matt will go after that one. That's got a shot at falling in. Span will get there though and put it away. But the Orioles here in the 3rd inning have put 1 in, and they'll get Hardy coming up, who had a base hit his first time up. Trumbo with a home run, good for 2 RBIs. Manny Machado coming across in front of him. Davis followed with the single. Now after the visit to the mound, Cain's been able to get the Schoop strikeout and the Wieters fly ball out. Those numbers for JJ going up, and batting average now at .281. The base hit in his first at bat. Yeah, and the pitch will be inside to him.
Yeah, the other number, I mean, really impressive. He's almost hitting .350 with runners in scoring position. We saw him in Oakland on Wednesday night, almost, doubled off the wall in right field. Home run in Chicago to left field. So back to what you kind of expect from him offensively.
Last month for Hardy, he's hit .333. He's had 3 home runs and 17 RBIs in a 31 game span. And JJ, of course, got a rest in the ball game yesterday. Ryan Flaherty made the start at shortstop, and the Orioles picked up that 9-6 win against the A's. Hardy will foul tip that one right at the plate. Okay, and gets a 2-ball 1-strike count on him. Crowd quieted here at AT&T Park by the Orioles' early offense.
Well, what they've sold out 461 straight games, and they're in every pitch. You want to try to take them out of the game if you can.
Cain's delivery to him, and that's there.
And a little cutter. Anything other than that fastball. It hasn't been a very good one. Can't command it. It's not overpowering anymore because of all the injuries, bone chips, nerve irritation last year.
And outside corner strike. So Cain will come back. He ends up with a couple of strikeouts in the inning, 5 in the ball game, but Mark Trumbo delivered his 33rd, leading the world in home runs, and that was good for 2 RBIs and a 4-0 lead. Today, sixth time this year, Chris Tillman has been the winning pitcher, stopping an Orioles losing streak of 3 games or more. 2.93 ERA by the O's rotation over the last 7 games, outstanding, and a 3.55 team ERA since the All-Star break. That is the 5th lowest in the American League.
Yeah, the starters have been a big part of that because the bullpen's just doing what they've been doing all year, which is to be consistent. So, again, when your starters pitch longer and they pitch more effectively, you think a game under 500 that maybe they'd even be better than that, but the hitting is not where they want it to be.
Panik will take that one to right field and get a base hit. So Panik's on with a leadoff single here in the 3rd inning, and that is the first hit for the Giants.
Yeah, hanging curveball. So that's just like throwing a fastball down the middle. And Chris Panik, the last couple of years, 300 hitter. This year had a concussion, so it's taken him a while not only to get back, but also to get back into swing. And he gets a great pitch to hit. Doesn't miss it.
Matt Cain, bunt situation. He's had a couple of hits, 24 at bats, 1 double, and a home run, and 5 RBIs. Manny Machado's joining him in the batter's box, coming in from 3rd base. Cain does show will take the pitch away for a ball.
Well, this is a whole nother facet of pitching in the National League when they're going to give you an out, even though they will do the butcher ball, where you fake a bunt and swing away. They work on that every day. Saw them doing it around again about 4:30. But when you're Bundy, you don't have guys giving you outs in the American League. So, make a pitch, make him put it into play, take the out.
Delivery on the way, and he was not going to bunt and did not go around. Brian O'Nora down at first base.
So that time again, looking fastball. Bruce Bochy says that, hey, you may get one, but it's out of the zone. Did he swing? No.
He's got a 120 career average, 7 home runs, 573 at bats. Manny Machado's not buying the I'm going to swing. He stays in at 3rd. Pitch on the way. Pitch will be taken outside. And that's not where Bundy wanted to go. 3-0.
Well, Dylan Bundy is not as sharp as he's been in his last 2 starts. We've seen that all night long. We've seen him talk to himself. Maybe a little different rhythm, different feel.
Think he'll take a pitch? Better. It's there for a strike.
And you're really, you're forced in this situation with a 4-0 lead. You pitch to the scoreboard. You throw on the fastball. Hopefully it ends up right down the middle, and you take your chances. Now Manny still looking for a bunt.
Inside out swing. Trumbo's right there. He's got it. Took a while, but they get the opposing pitcher, and there's one down. Fireworks night's coming back to the ballpark. Orioles take on the Astros. That's next Friday. It's presented by the Baltimore Area Credit Unions. So we hope you'll gather up family and friends, and we'll see you at the yard. Fireworks night. Tickets at Orioles.com. Top of the order, and Denard Span. Span stands in, having flied to center field. His first time up. Runner still at first base, only now 1 down. And that one's going to be down the line and into the seats. First row. Panik will go back to first base. Ballpark opened up in 2000 to rave reviews, and not much has changed around it. Still looks about the same, and beautiful and packed. 0-1 count on Span. Depending on the demand down that right field line at field level, folks can come in and stand and watch a few innings, an inning, a couple of innings. Just depends on how many people want to do it. They rotate folks in and out of there to watch games. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to be outside. And Span, a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah, it comes over from the Nationals last year. All kinds of injuries, hip, back, core. So he really missed, I think, 68 games, but usually around the 300 mark. Good outfielder, can steal a few bases, 12 this year.
Runner off first, and took a hop step before the pitch was even delivered on that, and the count goes to 2-1. as though he was trying to drive it to left.
Well, the home run he hit on the last road trip, won him the game up in Philadelphia, was down and in. I mean, he just hit a screamer just inside the foul pole in Philadelphia.
2-1 delivery on the way to him. That's going to be a base hit into the gap the other way. You got to cut that off or it'll roll all the way to the ocean. Trumbo's got it. He'll get it in. Panic's going to come home. They got a shot. Scopes throws way off the mark. Won't see many of those from Jonathan Schoop. He airmailed that one. And it will be a 2-bagger and an RBI for Span. 4-1.
Now you kind of coach to the ballpark, and Roberto Kelly, the third base coach, is going to send him. Trumbo actually makes a nice play. You can see the new sod from the concert. And then here's Schoop. Maybe a good throw gets him, but it's up and nicely backed up by Dylan Bundy. But again, you're getting into hitters counts, and the Giants are going to do damage if Dylan Bundy stays in those kind of counts where he keeps falling behind.
34 RBIs for Span, his 17th double. And here's Pagan, still only one away. Runner at second base. Pagan flying out to right his first time up. Bundy's pitch to him, and he'll uppercut that one foul back into the seats. This has been an area where the Giants have struggled since the All-Star break. Even before that, they're hitting under 200 since July 1 with runners in scoring position. That's very low. 179 mark since July 1. Nobody lower.
245 on the season. So, of course, the Orioles, they've struggled too. They were about 285 at the All-Star break. They're down to 272. Giants at 245. But of course, like Bruce Bochy was saying, hey, everything changes if you just play up to your potential. These guys have played. The Orioles hitters have produced runs. Giants aren't going to hit as many home runs, but they're a better hitting team than they've shown.
Pagan with a 1-ball 1-strike count, and backs off from that one. He was leaning over the plate a little bit. Count goes to 2-1. So a couple of pitchers, both of whom not where they have been over the last 3 starts as far as their ability to get outs and control where those pitches are going.
Well, the fastball command for Dylan Bundy, not what he wants. For Kane, same story, not as much velocity, but once again you're into one of those hitters counts.
2-1 delivery on the way to Pagan, and that's going to be outside. Count goes to 3-1. Pagan has been one of the best for them at 292 in these situations. Now you got to be real careful on not being too fat on this pitch.
Well, you talked about the home run power. And again, natural right-handed hitter, but when you get into these counts, inside middle, certainly capable of hitting a double or an extra base hit.
And that one is deep near that fair pole, and goodbye, foul.
Wow.
A long late call made right there down the first base line by Brian Onora, who was watching it all the way with that foul pole extended, and they needed it on this call. It went into McCovey Cove. You saw it netted out there, and Bruce Bochy's taking a look at this.
Well, a change up, and from here it looked fair.
Still looks
but
fair.
Yeah, from there it looks a little different story.
Wow.
So again, thought it could throw him something other than a fastball, and he still almost hit a home run. Right there. So he hooks it just inside the pole, or I guess outside the pole, depending on which way you're looking at it.
Souvenir into the water, but foul. Here's the 3-2 delivery, and Pagan will foul that one off the other way. Well, he really unloaded on that one. Pagan's got a 9-game hit streak. He's had 12 hits in his last 41 at bats. And he's, of all the bats in the lineup, he has had the most extended streak for the Giants. 35-year-old veteran. A run in on the Span double. He's at second base. 1 out. Almost got a couple more. 3-2 delivery again, and another one foul back and a big cut.
Yeah, they're really good situational hitters in the sense that when they'll look for something to drive when you get behind them, and now when you get to 3 and 2, they're willing to use the whole field. It's just a tougher approach if you're trying to pitch. There's no room or margin for error. Got a 4-1 lead. Was 4-0. Don't want to walk anybody.
Pagan battling on a 3-2 delivery, and he walked him on the 8th pitch of the at-bat. So the Giants here in the 3rd inning with 1 run in, have 2 on and 1 down. Second walk surrendered by Dylan Bundy. And Bundy, take a look as where his defense, where they are going to be on coverage wise as he turned around. Brandon Belt will stand in. Belt, since the All-Star break, hitting only $198. He is 4th in walks, 5th in doubles, and 6th in on-base percentage in the National League.
But does lead this club in home runs.
Brandon Belt flied out to left his first time up. And fouls that one away, and these guys are really taking some big cuts on Dylan Bundy.
He's got great power to the opposite field, and again, hit 18 of them last year. So again, he can pull the ball, but he's happy to drive it to left center, and that was a pitch that he just missed.
Belt will take the pitch. It'll miss. He's had 30 hits to left, 33 to center, and 45 to right for Brandon Belt. Here at home, 4 home runs, 9 on the road. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 down. Orioles are given that right field corner. Play him the other way. Ground ball, Jonathan Schoop. Hardy, the relay, and there's a big double play. And Bundy gets what he needed right there. It'll be 1 run picked up on a couple of hits, and only 1 left on base as the Orioles turn 2. The RAV4 Hybrid, all-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you here at AT&T Park in San Francisco, and the Orioles on top with Matt Cain trying to settle it in. Big double play ball for both of these teams. 1 turned in the 1st inning against the Orioles, 1 turned by the Orioles in the 3rd. Dylan Bundy, strikeout victim, his first time up, will lead off the 4th inning. 4-8-0 for the Orioles, 1-2-1 for the Giants. Bundy waiting to be moved into the box by the home plate umpire, who's looking out at center and staring.
A little commercial break now. Alan Porter says you're allowed to.
Clock was done a long time ago. I don't know what he was looking at. He'll stand in. Bundy, then Jones and Kim.
See smoke.
Pitch on the way, foul back. Yep, we're getting that fog rolling in. The sea smoke coming from left to right here in the ballpark, as it does each game, so you'll see that show up right there. Kane's delivery, breaking ball in there for a strike. Orioles RBIs, Adam Jones 1, Trumbo 2 on a home run, Wieters 1 on a double, and Bundy a swing and a miss.
Well, National League ball. Big advantage when you make your pitches. Big swooping curveball, good one from Matt Cain.
He's already got 6 strikeouts in the ball game. His high this year is 7.
Well, Gary, it's not about the breaking ball. He hasn't been hurt on any of them. It's just he had a series of bad pitches with his fastball. And I mean, really, as we mentioned earlier, it started with Adam. With 2 breaking balls, strike 1, strike 2, try to sneak a fastball by him. There was a single. Same thing the next time up.
Adam Jones, another multi-hit game, 2 singles and an RBI. His 37th multi-hit game. He's had a couple of 4-hit games for his highs, no 5-hit game this year, but the way he's hitting right now, one of those games where you get a 1 or 2 extra at bats and he'll have a 5-hit game. 1-0 count. Ooh. Kane turning that ankle as he started in.
Again, you got to dig out a hole, and you can see him slide his foot in, and as he goes, you can see his foot come right over the pitcher rubber. Now, there are pitchers, remember the great Sandy Koufax actually would put the spikes in front and on the pitcher rubber, so it gave him more impetus to home plate.
And a swing and a miss, pretty good to be able to come back with that kind of a pitch when you're not sure your footing's going to hold up. And Adam with a 1-ball 1-strike count, and didn't throw the fastball, came in with the off-speed pitch.
Well, I'm sure Dave Righetti, there he is. He's been here 17 years. He's a terrific starting pitcher. Been saved over 250 games into the bullpen.
1-1 delivered to Adams, scooped on a bounce outside.
You're a veteran pitcher. Sometimes your breaking stuff's going to be done. So you kind of pitch around the fastball. Now, listen, couldn't do it for Trumbo, and then back in the second. Game's not over by a long shot.
Adam will go after one down and away. Foul tip, said the home plate umpire, into the mitt.
I mean, if you watch the films from the Oakland series, Graveman threw some breaking balls, but mostly 92 to 94 mile-per-hour sinkers. Zach Neal used all his pitches. You would be prone to say, hey, keep the ball down and throw a lot of off-speed pitches.
2-2. So Kane will take it full on Adam. 3 balls and 2 strikes. With 1 down, nobody on here in the 4th inning. Kane, the pitch count running up on him because of these long counts and a number of foul balls hit by the Oriole hitters. Full count delivery.
Now there's a hanger, and that's what happens when you go 3-2. Can't throw quite as quality breaking ball. I mean, he's thrown a lot of strikes. He's thrown 31 strikes and only 19 balls. It's just that a lot of the fastballs ended up in the middle of the plate, and the Orioles haven't missed it.
Kane has been a 5-inning pitcher predominantly for them this year, as many of the veterans are becoming. There's the walk on the pitch away, so Adam Jones with a quality at bat gets on. Well, Night Owls, you want a little late night text alert when the Orioles are out west? Text late to 29292 for in-game alerts you can't miss. That's late 29292. Standard message and data rates may apply. Ooh. He's just standing off the bag looking, and Kane tried to catch Adam Jones before he'd even gotten into a lead. Kim is up. He has struck out and grounded out. 1 down, 1 on. The first walk surrendered by Kane. He neither strikes out many nor walks many.
But they've been throwing Kim a lot more breaking balls. He's able to get the bat head with a fastball.
And Kim will take it away for a ball.
Again, he started out spring training, went 0 for 23, and then he got to play a little bit. Wouldn't go to the minor leagues. All of a sudden, he seemed to figure it out, and now they're trying to figure him out.
Runner not going, stays away. That one will be a strike at the knees, though. So Kane with a walk and 6 strikeouts in the ball game. Dylan Bundy 2 walks and a strikeout. The Orioles having to wait on Kane. And then you throw something in about Abel and it's your joke. He is slow. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kim really off speed. That one's going to miss up. So a 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Now the other thing is when you're standing on first base, you don't really know what should I put. You'll go to the stretch position, but you can't really see it. Catfish Hunter used to do it this way. There he is set. You don't really see the hands move a whole lot.
And up high, not close on many of these, and he's talking to himself. So both pitchers have spent some time in this ball game expressing their sentiments to themselves on the mound.
Well, again, it's a fastball count. We'll see if he gets one.
Kevin, his first game against the Giants, 3-1. Adam Jones off first, and Kim does, and he does. That's going to go to the wall. Jones a good read, heading over to third. Pence will pick it up. Bobby Dickerson will hold Jones. Cutoff man is hit. It'll be a double for Kim, and the Orioles have 2 in scoring position with 1 out.
Yeah, it's really been the story of this night when he has to throw fastballs or does throw fastballs in the middle of the plate. Here it is, 3-1. They get smacked. And again, he hits it so hard. I mean, and actually by hitting it hard, Jonesy can't score. Maybe hit a little softer down the line. Getty's going to come out and have a talk with him. But again, second and third. And the way Bundy, with his command, as we look at George Contos, you need to get him as many runs as you can.
Kane clearly does not have it tonight, and they had hoped to go a little bit deeper, but it's not there, and they're trying to give the bullpen some time now. In fact, clock has expired. Rags. See ya. Home plate umpire Alan Porter out there to break it up after 30 seconds. So the Orioles force the infield in this 4-1 ball game. That's 9 hits off Matt Cain.
Yeah, and that's not the way you want to face Manny Machado.
Manny with runners at second and third. He's delivered a single, has scored a run, and he has reached on an error. Manny hitting .341 in August coming into this ball game, and a big RBI chance. Pitch is on the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's going to throw him a fastball other than to kind of use it to eventually get to the breaking ball. But that was kind of a backup slider that just stayed on the middle of the plate.
0-1 delivery on the way up the middle, hit him in the leg. Runner's going to stay. There's nobody at first, so everybody is safe. Runner at second is caught in a rundown. Kim got caught coming off the bag. Jones is going to stand at third. Nobody's covering second. They get the out. Oh my gosh. They get an out and they don't cover second base and allow the runner, Manny Machado, to move up. So Kim took off. Adam Jones didn't. So Kim got caught between second and third.
Now again, I mean, a BB right off the right leg of Kane, and then you can see Kim. He's already out of our screen on the left. Belt doesn't know what to do. Well, I'll get it to the guy that wins the Gold Glove, and then he's going to run him down, and then there's another run down. Meanwhile, Manny Machado, nice base running. And Joe Panik wants to throw it. There's nobody there.
Be a fielder's choice for Manny Machado, who goes to second base in a 1-3-6-5-4. Put out in the rundown, which is about 2 throws too many. But that was a weird one.
Oh, it's a painful out too.
Yeah.
Line drive off your shin.
So the Orioles still have 2 in scoring position, but they're 2 down. Mark Trumbo, his 33rd home run. Last time up, 2 RBIs. Base hit here, a couple more RBIs, and the pitch outside for a ball from Kane.
So show him the fastball, try to get him out with a breaking ball. You got first base open. I'm not sure you'll pitch to the next hitter, but you're already down by 3. You cannot give in to the guy that already had a 2-run home run off you.
6 RBIs in his last 7 at bats.
Wow.
For Mark Trumbo, and the pitch is taken. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Orioles, strange inning here. They've had a walk, a double, fielder's choice, nothing across the plate, and 2 down. Kane, 1 ball, 1 strike. Delivery on the way, and he stays away from Trumbo.
Now, did they give Manny a base hit?
No.
No?
Fielder's choice.
Even though Kim got to second and got caught between second and third?
That was the ruling.
Yeah.
That could be changed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
They
actually,
certainly weren't going to get him at first.
Already at second, so.
2 ball, 1 strike. Delivery on the way, and that's fouled back. No, Kane got one far enough away where he couldn't drive it. And a 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, the home run came on trying to go in. 3-2. Didn't work. There are the most home runs in Major League Baseball.
Two away, 2 on.
After further review, that last play, credit
2-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be fouled back. And now they do give Manny Machado a base hit.
3-6-5-4.
Yeah, I
Though
think
they give him a base hit,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
putout's going to go 3-6-5-4. They'll take it even though it hit the pitcher. That results in the base hit, and then the play that continued 3-6-5-4 was the putout play. So a single for Manny, and the Orioles have 10 hits, and that'll be outside. And again, full count.
Well, the last thing he wants to do is walk another guy or whatever, but you can't give up any more runs. I mean, you got to pitch like the game's on the line, because your game is on the line. You're gonna be leaving shortly anyway in National League ball.
3-2, 2 down. Jones and Machado, the base runners, and he came up and in, way up. So he equals his strikeouts, his high for the year with 7. Orioles will leave a couple in scoring position. They lead at 4-1. Notebook to if this is the end page. He did play tonight, DH, RBI double his first time up, then 0 for 3. So if that's A-Rod's final game, there are the career numbers. He would finish 4th in home runs, 3rd in RBIs, 8th in runs, and 19th in hits. And whether it really is his last game, it's his last as a Yankee. Or will he go somewhere else? remains in question. And I know one person who's happy that at least this Friday is come and gone, and that's Joe Girardi.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're putting, and he ends up hitting 200 this year. He came into the game at 199. And now Joe can do exactly what he talked about, which is worry about winning.
Yep. In between breaks, Danny Lee, who's the interpreter for Kim, had a long conversation with Buck Showalter. 1-1 delivery on the way. Danny, if we put you out in left field, can you handle it? Will you be okay? Said, no, I'm the interpreter. Talk to Kim. 2-ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and that'll be foul back upstairs.
Well, Dylan Bundy would like to get maybe a little bit, as the game proceeds, a little bit sharper fastball command. And then all of a sudden you can use your other pitches. And second time through the order.
Buster Posey will take the pitch away. Posey that drew a walk, taken out on the fielder's choice. He actually had a leadoff walk in that second inning. Posey, Crawford, and Pence are due up for the Giants, and he'll fight that off back into the screen.
Well, take a look at the guys that again don't strike out a lot. And, Panic, their second baseman. Murphy, of course, Murphy, Prado, Molina, and then Buster Posey. I mean, right there, he just took a perfect 3-2 changeup and flicked it foul. Hopefully, getting another better pitch to hit.
Pops that one up off the fist, right center. Trumbo Jones and Adam will get there and put it away rather easily. Actually, pretty long run. Well, next Saturday, August 21st, 25,000 fans 15 and over at the Astros game. We're going to get the Crush Davis bobblehead. This great collector's item. Almost time to pick it up if you're there and are among the first 25,000 15 and over. Get your tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Crush. Here's Crawford. And he will take the pitch for a ball. He was a strikeout victim his first time up.
They had a couple of nice swings, and then it got to 3-2, and Dylan Bundy struck him out on a changeup. Again, a lot of 3-2 pitches tonight for Dylan. There's another changeup.
Crawford has picked up 11 game-winning RBIs this year. He's been their leader in that department after 2015 season, in which he had only 8. He's really upped it, and he's upped his RBI numbers overall. Become a real potent force in the lineup. A little chopper back to the mound. Bundy patiently makes the play. Crawford retired. Here's our PNC minor league report. PNC for the achiever in you.
Corbin Joseph, brother of Caleb. So again, some nice numbers. You can see now moving up to AAA. He hit 300. Not a lot of power, but then again, the minute you get to Norfolk, it's a pitcher's ballpark. And he's red hot.
Here is Hunter Pence. And a strike called. Home plate umpire said he went after that one. 2 down, nobody on. Pence hit into a fielder's choice. His first time up. .390 World Series hitter in 2 World Series. 16 for 41 in World Series games, and a real big part of the postseason play and the wins as World Series wins for the Giants in the even years.
Well, he's just a tenacious hitter, and when he's healthy, he's got power. It's been a problem last year, all kinds of things. He broke his arm in spring training and had wrist problems. This year it's the hamstring. You kind of think you throw him a breaking ball and you fool him, but he keeps the bat back about as well as anybody on this lineup.
Told him before the game, I said, you got to stop hurting yourself. He's got a welt under that right eye. You see it when he turns towards you. Ball bounced up, hit him in the eye on a foul ball. I mean, really clunked him. Down to first base. That's over the bag. Fair ball. It'll go into that bullpen wall and ricochet. Trumbo has to come in to get it. Pence taking a look will stop at second base with a double.
Well, that's the tenacity that I talked about. You think he made a good pitch, threw him a changeup down and away, didn't overswing. Was coming back from the hamstring problem. But they're just shoot it. We'll let it travel. Almost like he thinks it's foul. Now all of a sudden he realized they call it fair, and he hustles himself into a double. 2-out double.
Maybe the most unorthodox swing in the game today. Effective. He's very effective, but very unorthodox.
Well, it's
spread
interesting
out.
if you watch golfers, maybe more so on the seniors tour. They have really, Miller Barber, what they call him, Mr. X, because the club went everywhere, but it got on plane. Well, that's what he does with his bat head.
Now an RBI opportunity and a breaking ball that's going to miss. He didn't go on that one. Nunez flied out to left field his first time up.
And that's really what the Giants are about, especially in this ballpark. You think they're going to have maybe a breezy inning, and then you make a great pitch, and they just hit one over the bag. And now another base hit, and you're in trouble.
Nunez will foul that one straight back. Big difference, as you would expect in this ballpark, for the Giants compared to what they do on the road. They are 11th in runs in the National League at home, while they are 4th in runs on the road. They're 14th in homers in this park, 7th when you go to the road. You got to pitch here to win and hope you can scrape in a couple of runs. Down the line, right field, and that is going to be foul.
Eduardo Nunez came up with the Yankees, and we saw him when Jeter took a day off, he'd be your shortstop. He could play all over. And then when we saw him in Minnesota, he shoot balls all over the ballpark, did really well to right center field. You want to be really alert if you're playing first or second, because we'll hit the ball that way with the best of them.
2 down. Pence a big lead at second base. Dylan Bundy's pitch is going to be outside for a ball, so the pitch count continues to climb here as the count goes to 2-2.
Well, it's just one of those games, and you have to remember he's only 23. This is his 6th major league start, but it's a game where maybe he doesn't have as good a command, and he's trying to aim it, trying to be perfect.
2-2. And that one in. He wasn't going to swing at it, then changed his mind. As he started, stopped, and then better go, and had enough time to foul it off. So hanging tough with the 2-ball, 2-strike count. It's a big potential run for the Giants down in this ball game, 4-1, being out hit 10-3. Another one the other way, foul. Providing souvenirs to the folks all over the ballpark tonight. Eduardo Nunez.
Yeah, when you're a young pitcher, this is when you really need Matt Wieters to kind of maybe guide you. Okay, because he's seen Nunez hit. Where do we want to go? Now we're going to try to get him out. They tried away. They tried the hook. He didn't throw a good one. Fouled that off.
Another extended at bat. 7th pitch will be coming. Timeout asked for, as Bundy took a little too long and Nunez got frozen in that position. Pretty much all over the place on the at bat. Again, the 2-2 delivery. Nunez waiting on it, nubs it. Bundy's going to get it. He'll make the flip and record the out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. And after 4, the Orioles on top, 4-1. Providing innovative, high-value dental and vision benefits to area employers and individuals. Smile! It's Friday. Great to have you with us as the Orioles open up this 3-game set against the Giants. We'll be back with you. Night game tomorrow, different time though. 8:30 goes extra and 9 o'clock for the ball game. Kevin Gausman 3-9, Madison Bumgarner 10-7 in tomorrow night's game. And then a day game on Sunday. Chris Davis on a swing and a miss. Matt Cain back out there. Cain has walked 1, struck out a season high 7, equaling his previous high this year. Davis a base hit and was called out on strikes. Full shift on against him, and the pitch is taken away for a ball. The Orioles trying to even up the road trip. They are 3-4 on this trip so far. Chicago, Oakland, San Francisco, deep, and goodbye home run. Back into the second row the other way. Chris Davis delivers the long ball, and the Orioles have the home runs going off Matt Cain. That's number 24 and his 62nd RBI.
And I know that his hitting instructor is elated as he goes the other way. One of his strengths. Haven't seen that lately. Got the hits in Oakland, a couple of 2-hit games, and then too many lefties can do that here. And I'm going to have a double switch right here with Bruce Bochy going to come out. So take a look right here. And again, Trumbo with a 2-run home run. I mean, it's not a horrible pitch, except who's hitting. His strength is out over the plate. He lets it travel. You have more time, and then he crushes it. Most guys, if you're lucky, you might get a double over the head of the left fielder. Home run.
Davis chases Cain, the starter. For Kristen Boswell, Maryland lottery contestant. 500 more.
For the Giants.
Record to 5-6, but runs into the Orioles home run bats. Trumbo with a 2-run shot, and then Chris Davis. George Contos will come on. He's got all 4 pitches. He's really pitched well for him. In fact, the whole bullpen has been lights out. 1 run in his last 15 innings. So
Jonathan Schoop against him will take the pitch down low for a ball.
And again, not a hard thrower, but again, low ERA, knows how to pitch. Came over from the Yankee organization. In 2012, Chris Stewart, a catcher, went the other way.
And that'll be popped up behind the plate. Posey back with room. Makes the catch.
Yeah, ball usually comes back to you. Just kind of Willie Mays it. A little basket catch. Hoping it doesn't hit the screen.
So Contos gets the out on the first man he faces. This is where their game since the All-Star break has dramatically improved, and that's the bullpen. It has made an enormous difference with the team not picking up runs since the break that the bullpen's been able to hold opponents. We'll see how they do in this one. Here's Matt Wieters' RBI double, a run scored, and he is flied out. Contos with the delivery to Wieters, and that'll be in there for a strike.
Yeah, that's right, kind of where he tops out with with his fastball, 91, 92. He's got a little cutter off that, then a slider and a changeup.
Pitched 4 days ago against Miami, couple of innings, a walk, and 2 strikeouts against the Marlins. The 0-1 delivery on the way. Wieters started. Did he go? Nope. John Tumpane down at third. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Wieters. So a tough night for Matt Cain, who had won his last 3 starts. That will end here. It'll either be a loss or a no decision for the Giants starter. 1-1 delivery. Wieters chops it foul. Contos against the Orioles. Going to be the first look in his career that they've had against this right-hander. Some of the Oriole players have seen him around. Alvarez, Pierce, Reimold, Trumbo.
Yeah, went to Northwestern, signed 5th round draft, picked by the Yankees, and then acquired by the Giants.
1-2 will miss outside. 2-ball, 2-strike count. So a 2-homer ball game so far for the Orioles. Trumbo's 33rd, Davis is 24th, as the big bats look like they may be heating up again in the middle of that lineup for the Orioles, starting with that game yesterday in Oakland. Way outside with it, and Contos works the count to what we've seen a lot of, 3-2. Orioles 6-4 against National League ball clubs this year. The Giants have gone 7-10 in interleague play. 3-2 pitch, and Matt keeps it alive. Second time with the 3-2 delivery, and that's going to be off the plate, literally. So the Orioles get their second walk of the ball game, as Matt Wieters will pick this one up with 1 away here in the 5th inning. Next Sunday, August 21, giveaway fans are going to be texting about all off season. 1:35 game against the Astros. You will receive a Birdland Power Company emoji T-shirt featuring the digital versions of some of your favorite sluggers in the Orioles. And after the game, the kids 14 and under get to run the bases. They have all year after Sunday games at home. Tickets, Orioles.com. Breaking ball. J.J. Hardy takes it. He is a single, and he's been called out on strikes. J.J. up to 280 on the year. Matt Wieters on at first with the off-speed delivery out in front.
Yeah, got it up, but the change of speed, a little cutter and slider that kind of hung. That's when you're having a nice little road trip.
Brandon Belt playing off the bag at first, close but off. Popped it up back. That'll be a souvenir in front of us. So JJ had a ball and 2 strikes. Hardy playing in his 34th game against the Giants. That's more than any other Oriole. A 209 career average against them. 220 in this ballpark. Matt Wieters, a couple of steps off first base, 1 away. 1-2 delivery, and that'll miss down low. Belt at first, really playing to cut off that hole between first and second.
Well, the scouting reports will tell you that JJ will take it, and of course Contos is going, okay, 2-2. What can I throw to induce a ground ball? And JJ is hoping he gets something up at the zone.
Belt moves off the bag quickly after that pitch.
Wow.
Knocked down at third. Gillespie and a double play. Gillespie to Panik to Belt. Gillespie just came in the double switch at third base. The Orioles pick up a run on one hit. Chris Davis 2 for 3 in the ball game, and this is 24th homer to lead off the 5th inning. 5-1 O's. Major League Notebook on our East Winds page. Blue Jays have lost, so the Orioles can move back into that first place spot. 5-3 Stros. Encarnacion did deliver a 2 for 4, including a home run, so he is tied now with Trumbo with 32. Red Sox defeated the Diamondbacks. David Price 3 runs 10 hits in that one. Boston 4 runs each of the first 2, and the Yankees came away with a win. They are indeed battling for that wild card spot. 6-3 over the Rays. Sabathia 3 runs 4 hits over 6. Longoria has been red hot over the last month, but not enough, and the Yankees continue in it. That'll be fouled away. Chris Davis, number 24, on the home run, and Trumbo picking up his 33rd.
Yeah, so he still leads Encarnacion
by 1.
Who will be a free agent, at least unless they re-sign him, as will. That's a lot of home runs. Trumbo, a 1-year deal. Unless the Orioles try to extend his contract. So there will be some home run bats out there on the free. And Batista also, who's hurt. He's been on the DL a couple of times for the Jays.
Leaned into it. Pitch will be taken away.
Well, Joe Panik again, the concussion. Got a curveball to hit. Started their 1-run rally with a single to right.
Panik will chop that to second base, and Scope is there. Panik is retired. 1 away. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Upcoming schedule brought to you by Mile One Automotive, offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit the men's store or online at mileone.com. 2 remaining games on this road trip for the Orioles. Then they will get a day off as they will head home after this road trip, and then a couple of games coming up against the Red Sox, 4 against Houston and 2 against the Nationals in the next homestand. Connor Gillespie getting his first at bat, coming on in the double shift. He's hitting in the 9 spot, pitcher spot. That pitch from Bundy's going to be in there for a strike.
Yeah, so maybe Dillon here in the 5th inning is getting a little bit better fastball command. Got Panik to roll over on a changeup and hits the inside corner. It's been the big problem. That's why the pitch counts somewhat escalated.
Gillespie will go after one up high, and he's gone in a hurry. Couple of strikeouts for Bundy.
Well, that's what we saw from Dylan Bundy his last 2 starts. Get ahead and then just pitch out of the zone. And again, they might think his fastball is straight, but not when he can Doesn't have to throw it for a strike. Rides it up in the zone. The other thing, Gillespie's been hot. I mean, he's 11 for his last 33, 29 for his last 100. So we're looking for outs here.
RBI double for Span, and he is flied out. Lone run for the Giants coming in the third inning after Panic led off with a single and came home on the RBI double by Span. 2 down, nobody on here in the fifth. Veteran Span, born in Washington, lives in Tampa now, Washington, D.C. 0-1 delivery to him up the middle, handled nicely by Dylan Bundy. Whips it over and gets the out. Another quick inning as he retires the side in order. Bundy gets it right where you want it, in the glove. 5-1. Baseball on MASN, brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. AT&T Park, where the Orioles bats again alive. 5-11-0 for the Orioles, 1-3-1 for the Giants. Dylan Bundy's gotten it done on the mound with a couple of walks and 2 strikeouts. Dylan Bundy will come to the plate third time, has struck out twice. Oriole pitchers this year, Gallardo's had a couple of hits, 2 for 3, and Wade Miley has gone 1 for 7, not with the Orioles. The other pitchers yet to pick up a hit, Bundy included, getting his first chance tonight. Gosman's had an 0 for 1, Givens an 0 for 1, Ubaldo Jimenez an 0 for 2, and Tillman an 0 for 2 for the Oriole pitchers who have hit this year. Bundy will take the pitch away. Contos on in relief of Kane. 5 runs, 11 hits in 4+ innings.
Yeah, another guy that came through Tommy John surgery early in his career. When he was a starting pitcher for the Yankees in their minor leagues.
Bundy will take it for his strike, 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's got all the pitches, and then after the Tommy John, he kind of morphed him into the reliever and then traded to the Giants and done a nice job for him. 73 games last year.
And the 1-2 pitch will be taken down low. There's the bullpen of the Orioles bunched down there at the far end. There is no, the bullpens are located in foul territory on the field. There is no bullpen area here. When you go to warm up, you go from the end of the dugout down the line, in the case of the Orioles in right field, to where the pitchers warm up, but you stay in the dugout. Same thing for the Giants. Ground ball back to the mound. And the underhanded flip retires Bundy. He'll be congratulated for putting the ball in play as he heads back. Race for October heats up at the ballpark. Birds take on the Jays. A 3-game series. Monday, August 29 it starts. Good seats are available in this playoff push for the American League East crown. Get your tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. smile. I hit it.
A moral victory. And he ran it all the way to first. Richie Van Sells, Oriole trainer, saying, nice going.
You know he's getting it the what for from his teammates there, especially pitchers. Adam Jones, 2 singles, a walk, has picked up an RBI. Another big night at the plate. One away here in the top of the 6th inning. Condo's pitch to him will be taken outside for a ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's fouled. Showed you earlier that the Giant pitching had allowed 35 home runs since the All-Star break. Tied for second most of the White Sox. They've added 2 more to that here tonight in a ballpark where they're tough to come by. Trumbo and Davis. So that's 37 homers surrendered since the All-Star break by the Giant pitchers. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. And Adam fouls down the line.
Yeah, the Giants, their bullpen, I mean, they've been really good, as you mentioned, Gary, but they only have one guy that really has, I mean, an electric arm, and that's Hunter Strickland. The rest of them, they just can make their pitches, move the ball around. They have a multitude of pitches. There's Righetti when he came up. What an arm he had. Talk about the ball coming out of your hand. It was unbelievable.
1-2 delivery will be down low. Adam not giving up any at bats, never has, but of late he's back to laying off those pitches away and down, the sliders that sometimes when he gets in a little funky chases. He's not been doing that.
Well, that's because he's willing to shoot it to right. And that's why they're playing over there. Built way off the bag at first base, trying to take away that hole in the right field.
2-2 delivery will go to short. Crawford. Condos gets a couple of outs on the ground, 2 down.
Yeah, he's the perfect type of guy. He's similar to what the Orioles saw over in Oakland the first 3 games, or at least first 2 games. Graveman and Zach Neal just keep it down, change speeds a little bit, try to get the ground ball.
2 away, bases empty, and here's Kim. Kim with a double, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Contos with nobody on. Takes a long time. Kim asks for the timeout and gets it. And Kim will watch that one in the strike zone. Right-hander's 0-1 delivery to him. Kim, a ground ball to second base. Comes up, panic with time. And a 1-2-3 inning. Orioles are retired. They've got the lead in this first of 3, 5-1. To go Bananas. After all, it is after midnight back home. We have followed the Savannah Bananas a bit. They are in the College League, and they are having quite a year. Earlier this week, 18th sellout crowd. They won their West semifinal against Ashboro, and then tonight in their Plain League West Division final, they beat the Forest City Owls 2-0. They are going to the league championship. The Savannah Bananas, in their first year of summer collegiate ball, are on their way. Yes, we will follow them through the final.
That's how I signed when I got out of high school. I went up to a college league up in South Dakota. Because we were the Pheasants, being
Pheasants?
in South Dakota.
Yeah.
We weren't the Bananas. Might have been.
You could have been the
Weren't the
Bananas.
Laughing Stocks or anything like that either.
Good for them.
Yeah. Well, again, they scout all those leagues, and great opportunity for college players to.
Good competition.
And maybe even some of the guys that didn't sign that maybe get a little bit of notice.
Yep. On Hill, aka Angel Pagan, has drawn a walk and he has flied out. Dylan Bundy, a couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. Orioles will get their bullpen.
Well, it was a big
up.
inning because he's reaching the kind of where his, he was 91 pitches, the most he's thrown, and his 5 starts coming into the start number 6. So they're going to watch him very closely. The bullpen's pretty well rested. Gibbons pitched a couple of nights ago, pitched well over in Oakland.
1-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way, and that's going to go to third. Nice play, Manny Machado off the shoe tops for the out. 1 down, 6th inning. Follow Orioles baseball live at the MLB.com at Bat app. Up to the moment, any moment. Game day, live game video, highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download it. MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball for your phone or tablet.
Yeah, you see how good the Orioles defense is. I mean, that's a typical play. You're thinking maybe a line drive off the bat if you're pitching, and the next thing you know, it's a line drive into the glove of Manny Machado.
And the pitch taken up high. Belt has hit into a double play, and he is flied out. 41,479, 41,479 here in the ballpark at AT&T, and that's why you have a catcher protecting the catcher in the bullpen. Ball went right down there, and if it had gone through, he would have caught him right on the backside. And yet that's another problem with having the bullpens on the field. 1-1 delivery on the way, and goes after one up and away. 1-2.
Well, at least they do it a little different than Oakland. In Oakland, the pitchers would be where the catcher is, and he'd have his back. Here, at least if you're a pitcher, you get to see your catcher take one off the rear end or the back.
And swing, and foul tipped into the mitt. Bundy gets the strikeout. That'll be his third.
Well, Dylan Bundy, I mean, he struggled early on with his command, and here comes Buck Showalter. But this is why he is such a special young pitcher at 23. And he's just completely. I mean, he used changeups and not as much as curveball. Now all of a sudden, at 94, he's throwing strikes. Meanwhile, this team has gotten a 5-1 lead. So now it's up to the bullpen. Certainly a chance to win tonight.
Another great performance as he gives up only a run on 3 hits.
again, I mean, trying to make it 3 really outstanding performances in a row. Struggles early, good changeup right there. Crawford down, rides the fastball right out in the zone, gets Belt for his last out. It will be the 17th out he's able to get tonight, so only 3 hits. The Span double scores a 1 run, maybe again a little wilder, so the pitch count maybe not as many strikes as normal. And Michael Gibbons comes in. Last pitched over in Oakland. Fastball, slider, occasional changeup. Mid-90s with the fastball, and it gets righties out with the best of them.
And his pitch will be there for a strike. 2 down, nobody on. Gibbons' first outing in his career against the Giants.
Yeah, so dominates right-handers. That 361 against lefties was about 480.
Posey will take the pitch and a strike on the outside corner, and he just stands there in dismay.
Well, he doesn't like that. It looked like it was a strike. It's been a kind of maybe a vacillating strike zone tonight to some degree, but like you said earlier, Gary, he won't be not taking anything close down and away. Except that ball's not even close to being a strike. Kind of a wasted pitch.
Two ball, 2 strike count. And got him. So Gibbons comes on and immediately gets the strikeout against Posey. Giants are retired in order, and we've completed 6 here in San Francisco. On MASN, brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by Navy Federal, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years, federally insured by NCUA. Beautiful skyline, home of course of a couple of great bridges here, Golden Gate rather, and a lovely night.
How about the new Bay Bridge?
Yeah, it's beautiful. New Bay Bridge open, the old one being torn down. Manny Machado coming up. The Orioles 5-11-0. They have left 6. The Giants are 1-3-1. They've left 3. Manny will go after it and foul it away. Already 2 hits, reached on an error. Andy has scored a run. For Dylan Bundy now, as he comes out of the ball game, chance to get his 6th win. 23-year-old, if he can get it here tonight as a starter, will be 4-2, and he has again improved his ERA. Manny will go to left field. Pagan. As a starter for Dylan Bundy, his ERA's dropped down to 2.76, and his overall ERA is now at 2.93.
Well, I told you what Art Stewart, who a longtime scout for Kansas City, said along with Gooden, he was the best high school pitcher he's ever seen. I think we saw a little bit of, stuff and curveballs and changeups. You can talk about that all night long, but how about the fact he didn't have his best command, and he just figured out a way to get it done tonight.
Third inning was the only one where he ran into trouble, really. I mean, he had some long counts in other innings, but he gave up 2 of the 3 hits in the third. Spans doubled. Panik had the leadoff single and scored, but I mean, just dominating again for Dylan Bundy.
And he made a great pitch to get out of it. He got the Belt double play. You know, good fastball down the way. Brandon Belt hit it to second base, and you just don't do that with the Oriole infield. They turn 2 with the best of them, and you're out of the inning.
Mark Trumbo delivering his 33rd home run in the third inning. 2 RBIs. Machado had reached ahead of him with a base hit. 1 for 3 in the ball game. Matt Cain, the Giants starter, 5 runs, 2 home runs, 11 hits, and 4+ innings. Trumbo will take it. It will be there for a strike from Condos.
Yeah, there you go. The hibachi's
It is
going.
a barbecue,
Yeah.
yes, indeed, right out there with the
You
wind
want
blowing.
that? You want that on somebody else's pontoon boat, don't you?
yes, that was a kayak, wasn't it? 2-1 delivery on the way, fouled off. It's not easy to have a cookout on a kayak. I mean,
A cookout on a kayak.
look at this. I mean, even if you tie them together, it's still a bit of a problem. If you flip that burger too high, baby, some sea lion's going to have a mighty fine meal.
Look at the wind blowing the American flag.
Blowing the flame. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Out there to retrieve balls in McCovey Cove. There have been 70 home runs hit in McCovey Cove since 2000. And an argument on the call. Trumbo
Don't get
leaving.
thrown out. Well, I mean, there's been a lot of questionable pitches for both sides. They've been a lot of look backs, and he thinks it's low, and it probably will. He's a big guy. You got to get your pants higher. I'm gonna have to talk to Mark about that tomorrow. Put the pants up. I mean, they're trying to encourage umpires not to call this pitch. I mean, look at the glove come back up. It rather obvious that it was a little bit under the zone.
It's where it crosses the plate. We know that.
Yeah. When I was pitching, I did.
Yes, of course you did. Here's Chris Davis, and the pitch will be taken away. Chris delivering his home run in the 5th inning. He's had a single, homer, and a strikeout. Now 24 in the year, and a very solid 62 RBIs for the Orioles. Giants go into the shift. And they'll stay away, and it'll miss outside. Chris has had 1 home run against the Giants, and it came here in this ballpark. And Chris has, in his career, gone 3 for 20 prior to tonight. Now he's added another. He's had 5 hits, 23 at bats, and 2 home runs against the Giants. And the 2 homers have been hit here.
Yeah, well, you keep pitching them away, and he'll hit a couple more. I don't know about tomorrow with Baumgartner. Got a 2.20 ERA.
3-0 delivery. Condos will miss. So 4 straight out of the strike zone. And here in the 7th, the Orioles get a base runner. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Second walk surrendered by the Giant right-hander. And that will give an at-bat to Jonathan Schoop. Double and a run scored in the 2nd inning has sent struck out and popped out. Giants will get their bullpen going again. 2 down, and Schoop chases 1 away.
Yeah, when you're trying to pull the ball, that's a tough pitch to hit. And when Jonathan is letting the ball travel, Javi Lopez, the veteran lefty, gets loose, lets it travel, and then all of a sudden right field becomes an option. Otherwise, your swing's already finished.
That's going to go to short, right to Crawford. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. 7th inning stretch time from San Francisco. Fog. Beautiful. Orioles have the 5-1 lead. Looking to put away game one. Michael Givens on the mound. And the pitch to Brandon Crawford. Donnie Hart added to the roster today. The left-hander in the bullpen for the Orioles. They get a shot at it here tonight.
That pitch did not count.
Pitch did not count. There was a ball on the field. I think a timeout had been called down by the bullpen area by the first base umpire.
Yeah, I think Gibbons thought it was a strike anyway. He called it the ball. So.
And that one's taken down low for a ball. Crawford has struck out and he is grounded out. Crawford against the Orioles in his career now 1 for 10. Obviously not a lot of at bats with these teams not meeting that often. 1-0 pitch, off speed delivery, and he got it in there for a strike.
Yeah, a little changeup. Again, Michael doesn't throw that pitch, but you know you're thinking of ways when the batting average is in the 360s. It's come down all the way from about 485. I got to make better pitches. I got to let them think that I'll throw something other than a fastball, even though that was a pretty good one. But maybe the changeup had something to do with it.
And he'll take a swing at that one, well located, down and away at 95, and a couple of strikeouts for Michael Givens.
Well, Bruce Bochy, who manages the Giants, said, "Hey, you know," I said, "your bullpen's really pitching well." He said, "Well, how about yours?" And Givens has been a big part of it. I mean, it's a perfect pitch. You know, and again, the changeup early in the count, it you know, Crawford goes, "I didn't know he had that." I don't know if he's thrown one in the last 2-3 weeks, but he threw a perfect one, and it sets up all his other pitches. Wow.
Givens, of course, leads the Orioles in strikeouts, or second in the Orioles in strikeouts, and 7th in the American League. He's now got 67 strikeouts. 1-0 count and another ball on the field.
And they're booing Donnie Hart, or maybe the catcher.
Hart warming up, has had 2 get away. Left-hander slings it, and the angle it comes in at, when it gets away, it ends up out on the field. Hunter Pence, a double his last time up. Fielded his choice, and the only other at bat he's had in the ball game. Pence came in a .400 hitter with 1 home run against the Orioles. He's extended his hit streak to 10 games. Foul back, and that one's going to be out of play. Hunter Pence here at home has always had success driving the ball into the gaps. A doubles hitter here in this ballpark. Chris Davis with the first base umpire Brian O'Nora as they all went charging down the line and right. Pence, 2-1 delivery on the way. That's a Hunter Pence cut right there.
Well, you know, again, I mean, his feet leave the ground. I mean, he looks really awkward. And I mean, still really trying to, because of the hamstring injury, trying to get back to, you know, where he can make contact. Great 2-strike hitter. And they, you know, he started with Houston, went to Philadelphia. He was acquired here, extended his contract all the way into 2018. He's just a high energy player in all phases of the game.
2-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be outside to him. Another extended at bat, another 7-pitch at bat at least to Hunter Pence, and he'll put that one over near the seats and out of play. Pitcher due up next in the double switch that we had earlier. So Bruce Bochy's got Blanco out in the on deck circle to pinch hit for Contos, and he's brought his bullpen reliever in. 3 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, other than Trevor Brown, that's their last regular player.
Center field. Adam Jones. He's got it. Pence is retired, and there are 2 down. We'll be with you again tomorrow night. Game 2 of the 3-game set. Kevin Gausman on the mound against Madison Bumgarner. Our coverage on MASN 2 at 8:30 with those extra, presented by Jeep. Game coverage will be at 9. All the access you need right here on MASN.
So Madison Bumgarner, terrific pitcher. You can see the low ERA. I mean, he's up there in the leaguers. And then Kevin Gausman still looking for that elusive road win. Maybe it'll take a start against Bumgarner to do that.
So Givens works an inning, retires all 3 face, couple of strikeouts. We'll get to see the left-hander, Donnie Hart.
Number 58, Donnie Hart.
Well, so Donnie Hart, again, you could see, hadn't given up any runs. This will be his 4th appearance. Just called up from Triple-A Norfolk, where he pitched in 40 games and actually pitched very well for him. Left-handed specialist. And then again, former infielder in college. So again, he made that play look pretty easy. Fastball, really kind of a slurve. And again, he'll match up against the lefty, Blanco.
Blanco stands in, and Hart on the mound. And the pitch taken for a strike with Double-A Bowie. Hart 40 games, 3-1, 2.72 ERA. He had 50 strikeouts in 46 and a third innings with Bowie.
And only 7 walks.
And that'll miss outside, and that funky delivery from first.
Well, they're looking for somebody that can get lefties out. They're supposed to be on Druzik. So again, he drops down, steps at you. And like he said before when they interviewed him, you still got to make quality pitches at this level.
1-1 delivery is fouled off.
Now, this is what we're talking about, the 40 games, really good record. So again, they used him as a guy that would pitch an inning or so.
Blanco's actually hit better against the lefties than the righties this year at 250 compared to 220. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. Blanco will lift that one down the line in left field. It'll set Kim over and will make the running catch in fair territory. That's 7 complete, and the Orioles continue to dominate in this one. They lead at 5-1.
2 in a row. Wieters with a double after Scopes double. The Orioles get a run, and then Adam Jones will make it 2-0. Trumbo with a runner on, 2-run shot, home run number 33, and then Chris Davis, home run number 24. Last one's the opposite way. And those are your Geico game highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. Jake Peavy comes on. Started most of the year. Really wasn't pitching that well. So he comes back into the bullpen, and he's actually pitched pretty well. A run on 5 hits in a couple of innings.
35-year-old veteran of 15 major league seasons. That's foul just outside the line. Matt Wieters.
Yeah, so high ERA, more hits than innings pitched. Doesn't walk a whole lot of guys, one every 3 innings. The velocity's gone down. I mean, he cuts it, turns it over. I mean, the great thing about Jake Peavy, you're getting everything he has. And again, he's had all kinds of arm injuries. Originally came up with San Diego, was one of the hard throwers. Really throws everything out there.
Wieters an RBI double. He's drawn a walk and he is flied out. And Matt will take the pitch inside for a ball. Peavy was 5-9, ERA 5.5 in 25 games this season. Coming out on the mound as a starter, replaced by Matt Moore, the left-hander, when he was picked up. He had only 1 career relief appearance prior to this year, and that was way back in 2011 with the Chicago White Sox. Peavy with a 2-1 pitch, and Wieters will fight that one off. Hardy and then the pitcher spot.
He's got that little cutter, and with the Red Sox in 2013 when they won the World Series, with the Giants in 2014 when they won the World Series.
2-2 delivery on the way, and Matt will go into shallow right field. Joe Panik is there, will make the play. 1 away here in the 8th inning. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 supporting Be More for healthy babies. 332 walks, $16,600. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. J.J. Hardy with a base hit into a double play, called out on strikes. And Peavy's pitch to him will be taken for a strike. J.J. now at 279 on the year. Orioles with a 5-1 lead. They jumped out early in the ball game. 2 runs in the 2nd inning, 2 more in the 3rd, and then added the home run by Chris Davis in the 5th, and have really dominated this ball game. Giants run came in the 3rd. Peavy's delivery is going to be down low in the dirt. 2-ball, 1 strike count on JJ. Good news for the Orioles. The big bats and the home runs. Trumbo, Davis, that Wieters extra base hit. Jones still hitting at the top. A couple of singles and an RBI. Peavy with a 3-1 to Hardy. JJ has faced Jake Peavy previously 24 times at the plate. 2 for 24 for Hardy.
Yeah, I mean, before Jake Peavy hurts his arm, he wins the ERA title twice for the Padres.
And got him.
And again, he hurt his shoulder, a serious shoulder injury. And it's just a fastball, Posey low target, ball runs back. And then again, the arm injuries, and you lose the velocity. A couple of years in Boston. Actually got traded over here the year they won, as Donnie Hart's going to get to hit, and former player that used to play both position and pitch.
Big chance for Hart. Yeah. Comes out of the bullpen, gets an out, and then immediately gets a chance to hit.
Well, out of Texas State.
Donnie Hart, 1 delivery to him will be taken down low, 1-1.
819th player picked in 2013 and pitching in the big leagues.
1-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be foul back. Peavy's 1-2 delivery taken by Hart. So Peavy comes on, gets a couple of strikeouts, retires the side in order. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning with the Orioles on top 5-1. Yellow light.
Well, one pitch. I mean, it doubles up the Orioles 2 runs. Number 33 for Mark Trumbull. I mean, this ball blasted. Almost got over the bleachers in left field here at AT&T Park in San Francisco.
Second home run in this ballpark for Mark, and his 6th against the Giants in his career.
Got 7 RBIs in the last 2 days. And already working on tomorrow's swing. It's a little Lou Piniella right there.
Hart will stay out and work here in the 8th inning.
Well, the Orioles need 6 outs.
Panik will be leading it off, followed by Gillespie, who's playing at third base. And then the top of the order, Denard Span. Giants' last hit came in the 4th inning when they picked up a double. They have not had a runner on since then. And the sidearm delivery is taken for a ball. 10 in a row have been retired by Bundy, Givens, and Hart. .0 delivery to him, will be grounded to second base. Jonathan Scope on a 3 hopper, and he's got it. Panik is retired. Let's take a look at Major League Notebook on this date in baseball history. A couple of notes for these two teams. In fact, the Giants honored their longtime fan Robin Williams with a moment of silence. The day after he had passed away, that was back in 2014. They ran a clip from the movie Mrs. Doubtfire here on the big scoreboard. And at 97, the great and honored Rex Barney, longtime 24-year public address announcer, of course, for the Baltimore Orioles. In tribute to his passing from cancer, the Orioles went without a PA announcer at Camden Yards on this date in 1997. Thank you. And give that fan a contract.
One of the nicest men you'd ever have met. And, you know, a lot of people knew. I mean, they knew him. He used to work at Pimlico Hotel as a bartender, but he pitched for the Dodgers, pitched a no-hitter. And the Boys of Summer, the great Roger Kahn book about the Dodgers. The great line, pitch like the strike zone was high and away. But I once asked Ralph Branca, I said, tell me about Rex Barney. And Ralph was, I mean, could throw the ball, fling it. He goes, he really threw hard. Just didn't always know where it was going. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. 1-1 delivery is going to be outside. Gillespie has had one at bat, 5th inning. He struck out. One down here in the 8th inning. Denard Span waiting on deck. Orioles looking to put this one. Adrianzi's come on to pinch hit.
Yep. Well, last year really had a nice year.
That'll be handled by Manny Machado. Long throw and a fine pick at first by Davis.
Yeah, you're I mean, you're seeing some defense, and again, if you don't get to see this, if you're a Giant fan, they sell out every time. We told you. And then the other end of it, Chris Davis, Gold Glove performance this year over at first base. He's been that good. Manny's already won the Gold Glove and the Platinum Glove. Best of the Gold Glovers. So there you go. That kind of tells you a story. That doesn't tell you the whole story, because there's the range factor too that comes in there. Well, these are big outs for Donnie Hart. You know, the Orioles need a left-hander, a situational left-hander. They get the best closer in baseball, Zach Britton. But they need somebody, you know, over the last 2 months, 7 weeks, whatever you want to call it, 48 games. This is to be able to come in and be able to get the tough lefties out. It's hard to compete anywhere without that.
Off the mask. 2 down, nobody on here in the 8th inning. Span has had the lone RBI. Denard picked it up in the 3rd inning with the double, bringing in Joe Panik, who had singled. And that's been it. Since then, the Oriole pitchers took charge of this ball game and have controlled it since. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Span. Again, hanging in on that tough delivery.
Yeah, and it wasn't like the Giants were out of this game. When Span hits the double in the 3rd, it makes it 4-1. They were leading 4-0, and then Pagan walks, and then Bundy made a terrific pitch to Belt to get a double play ball, get out of the inning. The Orioles add another run, and that's where it stands. Yeah, I just kind of looked at Gary the way he reacts, and you know, you see all the tough lefties. You know, Javi Lopez, certainly the veteran out in the Giants bullpen. You almost get a 2-part swing. You know, he's trying to stay back, trying to pick the ball up, trying to time it. It's not always easy to do. And then you come out of the end. Buck Showalter was talking about Oriole manager. You come out of the International League with a different ball. Now you got to come up to the big leagues. Ball feels a little bit different. Seams aren't quite as high, and still throw quality pitches.
Two chopped to the middle. Handled by Hardy. A lot of speed, so he gets it over there in a hurry. So the Orioles shut them down. A 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 9th, and the Orioles on top, 5-1. Brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, and nothing to hide. Yeah, the Orioles have gotten it done so far in this one. Andreazza will stay in the ball game after pinch hitting, take over for Gillespie. He'll be the third Giant third baseman. Another sellout crowd here at the ballpark tonight, but they haven't had much to cheer about the Orioles domination in this game. We go to the ninth inning. Adam Jones will lead it off. Jones, Kim, and Machado. Adams had a couple of singles, an RBI, has walked and grounded out. Orioles will keep their bullpen active. Not so much the score of the game now for the bullpen, but just who needs work. And Peavy's pitch will be taken inside for a ball. Big Peavy coming on for Contos, who worked 3 innings, a couple of walks, and a strikeout. That'll go to short. Crawford will make the play. Jones retired, one away here in the ninth inning. Well, here's your opportunity. Visit MASNsports.com/CareFirst to vote for tonight's Care First Fearless Player of the Game. Live fearless with a name trusted for over 75 years. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield. Trumbo with a big 33rd home run. Davis 24th. Wieters RBI. Jones RBI. Pitch is taken away. And so Kim has had a double, 1 for 4 in the ball game. Kim and then Machado will be due up against Peavy.
Yeah, they got 7 hits in about 10 batters in the second and the third inning. That turned this game right around. And then the next inning, he had another solo shot by Davis. Sustained offense. Something we didn't see first 3 games in Oakland.
2-0 delivery put up in the air to the biggest part of this ballpark, where it will be called for by Span, who makes the catch. So Kim will head back, 2 down here in the ninth inning. Giants will have Pagan, Brandon Belt, and Posey due up. 2, 3, 4 in the order in the bottom half of the ninth inning. A lot of the 41,400 plus not believing it's going to matter have already left. Down the line, and that will be off the facade for a foul ball by Machado. 2 singles in the ball game, 2 for 4. Reached on an error and flied out in the other 2 at bats. A couple of singles. Came in ahead of Trumbo's home run in the 3rd inning. Manny's 1 for 11 off Peavy, and the breaking ball down. 0-2 count. Javi Lopez twice up in the bullpen. There are 2 down here in the ninth. Foul back. Tony Hart getting his appearance in here. Dave Wallace, pitching coach.
Oh, he did a nice job. He comes in and gets outs.
Two-strike delivery by Peavy, and he got him. So Peavy has retired the 6th that he has faced in the ball game. Looks like a little work for Brad Brock when we come back. Field for Mark Trumbo as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning.
It's Brad Brock, all-star, made the all-star team for the first time in his career. Terrific first half. Struggled a little bit. You were with us early on. Gary Thorne did the interview with him. Talked about, maybe the legs got a little bit tired. So pitched the other night in Oakland and actually threw the ball well. So he feels like he's back on track. Righties, big trouble. 0.79. Fly ball pitcher. Keeps the ball in the ballpark. And he's got 3+ pitches. Fastball, slider, changeup.
Orioles 3 outs away from a W. Pagan 0 for 2 and a walk in the game. Bundy looking for the win. A run on 3 hits, 5 2/3. Givens worked an inning at 2 strikeouts. And Hart an inning and a third and retired the 4 batters that he faced. So the Orioles bullpen has done a tremendous job, along with the starter in this one. There's Zach.
Well, you need 3 outs. You've got a 4-run cushion.
Gets the 3. Zach comes in. Brock's pitch will be taken down low.
Man, he should be taken here. I don't know if he will be. You never assume it, but you got to throw a strike.
And he goes up the middle on a base hit. So that's
the result. And he said you try to go full tilt for an inning, but you don't want to get behind hitters, and you know what the score says, and you don't want to walk them. So you a little bit more of the middle of the plate, and all of a sudden, who you're trying to get out becomes better hitters. He's looking fastball. He gets fastball, and then terrific swing.
10-game hit streak for Angel Pagan. And the first hit they have had since the 4th inning of the ball game. Oriole pitchers had retired 13 in a row before that base hit. Brandon Belt, that's going to get away, and down to second base goes Pagan, which takes away that ground ball double play chance.
Well, the Orioles went in the late innings yesterday, the 9th inning, and it ended up 9-6 with the bases loaded. And that's why Britton is getting loose down here. It's the changeup. This will take the double play out of order. Break for the Giants. So you're looking for outs.
3rd wild pitch this season by Brad Brock. Now Zach Britton begins to warm up in earnest. 1-0 delivery on the way to him, and that's going to miss outside. So Brock will fall behind 2-0 on Brandon Belt.
Well, the point he made, and his legs get a little bit tired because you're pitching more than you normally do in the first half, and because of the O'Day injury, the torn hamstring, he did end up pitching more innings. And everything's a little bit out of whack, and there's a kind of a borderline pitch that they think was high. Because they're looking for base runners. The Orioles are looking for outs. It's that simple.
Runner off second base. 2-1 delivery on the way to him, and that's going to be outside. So he falls behind, entering dangerous territory. Posey, Crawford, on deck batters. Pagan down there at second base. It's about the guys behind him that matter now. That's going to go to the gap, right center field, and fall in for a base hit. Making the turn is Pagan. Pagan's going to come home. No throw by Schoop. And with nobody out here in the 9th inning, the base hit by Belt makes it a 5-2 game.
Yeah, so when you don't have your command, you end up not being able to do what you did best the first half, which is use all your pitches. And here comes Buck Showalter. I mean, you got arguably the best left-hander in baseball coming out of the bullpen, and Zach Britton, and you're going to bring him in.
So Brad Bryak unable to get anybody out, no part of an inning, and a couple of hits.
Zach Britton, 35 out of 35, 39 consecutive scoreless appearances. Came in yesterday, pitched an inning, got the save number 35. Did give up an inherited runner, a couple of base hits, ground balls. Eventually, the Orioles would win. So they get it up early enough. And again, sinker baller, occasional slider. Did get it an out yesterday on a breaking ball. Doesn't throw it very often.
Buster Posey, a runner at first base. This is Britton's first appearance against the Giants in his career.
Well, there they are. I mean, glowing numbers. The righties, lefties. That average was 135 yesterday. Went up with that base hits.
Posey's had a walk. He has flied out and struck out. Brandon Belt on at first base. Posey will take it in the dirt. Stopped by Wieters. Finds it underneath the glove and holds the runner at first base in a 1-1 count. So the Giants making it interesting. It has been a very quiet night for their fans and for their bats in this game. I mean, they still have only 5 hits, being out hit 11-5, but they made it a 5-2 game.
Well, the great thing about this game is the opposition, you got to get all 27 outs and have a lead. So they still have 3 outs to work with.
Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way to Posey, taking it inside. Talked about how they take pitches and don't strike out. They have 3 of the top 10 most difficult batters to strike out in the National League. Posey is one of them. Posey's the 3rd most difficult. Joe Panik is the 1st most difficult, and Span is the 8th most difficult. And foul back and a good pitch down.
Yeah, that's how the stuff is that Britton plays. If you're Buster Posey, he doesn't strike out. He's trying to get on base, and he swings at the ball because the illusion is it's going to be a strike, and then the bottom drops out. Britton with a tremendous sinker. We would love to have a ground ball at one of his infielders, turn a double play.
25 pitches thrown in the ball game yesterday, 4th high in the year for him. So coming right back after that performance in this game with nobody out in the 9th inning. 2-2 delivery, and Posey fights it off. So Zach with a count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crawford waiting on deck. This San Francisco team 8-16 since the All-Star break, worst record in the majors. Coming back home for this 10-game homestand, would like to get it going with a comeback win here, and the Orioles, a victory moves them back into first place ahead of Toronto. 2-2 delivery on the way, and he got him. Ate him up. Did he tip it? No.
Well,
Posey said he did.
Yeah, he's saying he thinks he fouled it off, and Alan Porter, it's not one of those plays I don't believe that you can challenge.
Can ask for the other umpires to help, but I think that's about it. That's going to bring the skipper out. Suppose he continues to talk to Porter. Bruce Bochy makes his way out.
So he can't argue balls and strikes, but he can ask him, are you going to check with anybody else? And yeah, it's hard to tell. The ball was so low. So there's the sinker. I think he hit the dirt.
Doesn't look like it.
No.
So it's a strikeout. Posey is gone. There's one. Crawford has an 0 for 3. He has struck out twice and grounded out. Brandon Crawford with a runner at first. 1 run in here in the 9th inning. And the pitch will be away for a ball.
Like you said, he's another guy that hits lefties real well. Higher batting average against left-handed pitchers than righties. And of course, Zach Britton's not your normal left-hander.
1-0 delivery to him. That's going to miss. 2-0.
Well, all the Giants know is that if they get another runner on, Pence with home run power could tie the game up with 1 swing. And that's exactly what they would like after trailing 5-1 coming into this inning.
2-0 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss. 2-1. Zach seemingly over the last few appearances is so confident about being able to throw strikes that he's not bothered by going behind 1-0 or even 2-0, trying to get hitters to chase early, and then comes back. 2-1 delivery, this time outside, and a 3-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah, I think I mean, to me, it's almost humorous because it's not the way the game works. But a lot of people say, well, just don't swing against that. But most of the balls he throws end up, because of the great sink, end up out of the strike zone. It's just not the way the game works. Hitters go up there, they think it's going to be a strike, and then it isn't.
3-1 delivery on the way, and a ground ball towards Schoop. He'll go to first, get the out. Down to second base goes Belt. But the important thing is there are 2 down here in the 9th inning. So 1 to work with for the Giants as Britton comes back on Crawford retiring. That'll be Hunter Pence, a double, 1 for 3 in the ball game.
Yeah, Dom Chidi and Dave Wallace, the 2 Oriole pitching coaches, were out on the bench early today, and Caleb Joseph, backup catcher to Matt Wieters, and Dom Chidi kind of looked at Dave Wallace. He said, you know, the great thing about Thad Britton, not only is he's as good as anybody, he tries to get better every day. I mean, that's a pretty big compliment right there when you're already 35 out of 35 and you saved the All-Star game for the American League, home field advantage.
Belt on at second base, 2 down, 9th inning. Hunter Pence waiting on it, will foul it away. The Orioles get the win here. Dylan Bundy will be 6-3. Kane will take the loss. Matt Cain struggled, 5 runs, 11 hits in 4+ innings. He'll be 4-7. It will end a 3-game win streak for Kane. And the Orioles can open up this series with a W if they can get this final out. 0-1 delivery, and that one's going to miss. 1-1 to Pence. And Zach, of course, looking to remain perfect in the save department. 1-1 delivery.
Yeah, it's just not where you think it's going to end up. And again, Hunter Pence thinks he's got it tracked, and the ball just dies out of the strike zone. It's quite amazing that anybody can throw that hard and make the ball move downward that way.
Britton with a 1-2 delivery. Pence takes it. And it'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hunter Pence trying desperately to get on to join Brandon Belt and bring the potential tying run to the plate here in this 5-2 game in the 9th inning. Two-2 delivery. Won't have to worry about it. Gets him, and Zach Britton comes on and retires the 3 batters faced here as he gets a couple of strikeouts in the ball game. The Orioles come away with a win in the opener by a score of 5-2. The win does go to Bundy, 6-3. Kane the loser, he is 4-7, and the perfect save route continues for the Orioles closer Zach Britton. Join us again for Game 2 tomorrow. Kevin Gausman on the mound against Madison Bumgarner. Our coverage on MASN 2 8:30 O's Extra presented by Jeep. Game coverage will be at 9. This has been a MASN presentation. Tom and Rick standing by. O's Extra. Take a look at some real good pitching on the part of the Orioles, both starters and bullpen members in this ball game. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew here in San Francisco, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks, everybody. Adieu, adieu.